Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be. Welcome to another Season 6 OoTR Tournament match. We've got rockchalk versus Favio in losers round 4. I am BXR, joined by Doc Keeps and Hagmania. How's it going, you guys?
Hey, what's up? Ready for some OoTR action.
You know, it's just good to be back in the comms booth. It's just nice. It's just nice being here, y'all.
Absolutely.
We've got 3 in the booth here tonight. We've got 2 great runners on the screen. I'm so excited for Favio versus rockchalk. What do we got here in terms of stats?
So, you may notice that Favio is 31 seeds below rockchalk, but Favio's finished ahead of rockchalk 15 out of 21 times.
Yeah, as I'm looking at these stats, knowing both of these runners, knowing Favio, knowing rockchalk, even though the stats favor Favio for 1v1s, honestly, it could go either way. Just because they are both incredibly talented runners and have made it this far to round 4 of the losers bracket. So obviously they have shown that they can do well in 1v1 settings. And so I think they're both set up to be amazing this race and to have a close race, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. And they actually faced off in S5. rockchalk beat Favio by about just over 2 hours. We'll see what happens this time around.
Yeah.
Favio was the 9 seed last year, so definitely not a stranger to the top of the card here.
Yeah, and Alfalfa pointing out, Favio is one of our keyboard players, actually. For those of you who don't know, there are certain devices, specifically Mac devices, that struggle with different types of emulation, and so oftentimes they will play using a keyboard, which if you have not seen somebody play on keyboard is absolutely a spectacle to watch. I struggle with a joystick and buttons, and they can be doing B1 skips with just a keyboard. It is incredible to watch. So if you've never seen this before, watch Favio and watch some of Favio's setups because they are absolutely delightful to watch on keyboard.
Yeah, he's developed some of those himself, some of these techniques, because there are just so few keyboard players in the world.
All right, we're now on to the game scene. We are starting with Sunsong and as adults with the Kokiri Emerald.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, not the worst song to start with. Some of the challenges of openers are you are really pressed for time of day, especially if you want to do things like river, valley, lake. You know, if your child spawns in an awkward location, having Sunsong just allows you the freedom to go wherever you want in the early game and not have to worry about your time of day. So it just makes that early game rounding just a little bit more slick than if you were to start without Sunsong. The downside is, of course, no warp song, so you don't get that free song chain. But I don't think any of these people are going to be bummed to see Sunsong as their opening song.
Yeah, if skulls get involved, that will help out too.
All right, so do you like going to CAC as adult first here, perhaps tooling around in the river area, or do you like going straight child? What's the play here, starting with adult and Sunsong?
For me, adult's too strong of a play to skip. You get a free song, you get, 9 checks out of it between CAC and Graveyard, and everyone's going to be doing it at some point anyway. So I think it's just too strong of a play to skip.
All right, we're off then.
All right, both gonna head right to the pedestal. Deku, water, fire, shadow, forest, and spirits. That leaves DC and Jabu as our other stones.
Jabu.
Yeah, this isn't a great.
No.
Yeah, we might be here for a bit.
And I've been surprised at how many people are skipping Stone DC. As it is one of the fastest dungeons and has the lowest entrance requirement.
That's 2 CAC paths.
Yep, Morpha and what was the other one? Bongo?
Yeah, Bongo, yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saw Shoot the Sun as a slingshot and 30 Skulls is dead.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to be seeing seven dungeons completed here. I know you say some people skip Stone DC. I would find it hard. I always find it hard to skip Stone DC.
No, I mean, the second I get a bomb pack, I am right into DC again because it's so many checks, it's so fast, and it gets put into logic with strength, it gets put into logic with bombs, it gets put into logic with hammer. Like, there's just so many ways that DC gets put into logic that it's too hard of an argument to skip.
It's a very low item requirement for all dungeons as well, so that's something to keep in the back of your mind. It could just be something as simple as key logic or something that would be a bait AD, but whenever you have 3 items only required for all dungeons, that's always throwing up some red flags to me.
Yeah.
All right. Again, classic opener here.
Nice wallets.
Oh God.
I mean, it's nice for Fire Temple.
Now,
you see that Serenade is vanilla.
Now for chat, and also for us on comms, thoughts on opening small chests. I love hearing different people's opinions on these.
Personally, I'd say until you have a few more hearts or you find explosives generally.
I am a proponent of being very flexible in this. I think you should be opening up small chests based on different criteria. Like, we got an early adult's wallet, so opening up small chests for rupees and like getting yourself an early like shield, or I guess you could do that without a wallet. But there's a hook shot here in the windmill as I blabber on. Things like being able to buy Goron tunic, or just those sorts of things that you would not get if you might be not opening small chests.
Yeah, totally. I'm of the 5 hearts and explosives camp, where I'm like, there's 200.
Yeah. Well, now you can go buy your tunic.
Yep.
Or you buy your shield.
But if you've got 5 hearts, you can do any room in the game, and then of course if you have
okay.
Long shot.
So we have a long shot and Eponas, in case anyone wanted to go to GTG. Those are your 2 forms of access, both within the first 3 minutes. So
wait, that could also be Bongo Bongo as well, right?
No, they can't. They can't unless they lock all the bows.
Okay, that's fair.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So I mean, nobody is going to beat a GTG before adult 2. However, it's good to know that we could. We chose to.
But yeah, those hooks, for sure, the hook shots are Pathomorpha.
Yeah. And of course, like exactly what I'm talking about small chests, you'll see that rockchalk elected to pick up the shield grave chest, whereas Favio chose to skip it, which is it is a few second time save over the grand scheme of things. But should that have been something like bomb choose, that would have made a big difference in the seat.
And Rockchalk's just gonna long shot to the crate and get the big Oron sword that's in there.
I like it if you're gonna grab it within the first 5 minutes. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so rare to have long shot this early.
And again, like, not something you go out of your way for per se, but if you've already got long shot and you're already there, it's not a bad thing to. I mean, I'm not gonna play into the meme, but you will save time. You will save time by having the Goron sword throughout the course of a 2 to 3 hour scene.
I was pointing out if the runners were going to use the long shot to get up here, but they chose not to. And it didn't look like we had anything here. Just more money thrown on the ground.
More money.
And what a shame. You could have went and spent that. Ugh.
Yeah. Also looks like Favio's electing to get the big Goron sword. Don't blame him. It's free. Like, you're there. It's free. Just do it.
As you can see, aiming on a keyboard isn't the nicest thing. Sometimes you have to go into like first person like this and then aim.
The strats.
But again, somebody on keyboard clutched out a 51 on Dompe race, and so like it's shockingly not holding Favio back, which is what is most fun to watch about this.
Alright, both runners into the Sun Song grave.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a save quit after this.
Ooh.
Unless this is something like Bomb Bag, and then you won't see a save quit, and I'll just eat my words.
Wow, a strength upgrade.
Sure.
Oh, fascinating. Yep. Both considering if they want to move on, both save quitting. I think it's a fair move. You've got too much in Child to do.
Yeah, I think the opportunity of getting Minuet in Child.
Yeah.
Definitely influencing that decision.
Hey, I just noticed rockchalk's file name said rematch, because as I said earlier, this was a rematch of an S5 match that was won by rockchalk.
Oh, fascinating. Again, both of these players have been in and around the Ocarina of Time Randomizer scene for quite some time and have been very successful in Ocarina of Time Randomizer. So both very seasoned when it comes to tournament settings, seasoned when it comes like the tournament environment, but also seasoned in 1v1s. So I think they're both very capable of putting up a good fight this match.
Absolutely.
And pretty standard what you're going to see here is these runners probably going to Lon Lon Ranch and then proceeding to save quit out of Lon Lon Ranch. Pretty standard Child segment here. And relatively safe, all things considered.
Not having seen a Skull Mask hint yet, Favio will go ahead and prep a potential turn in there with the Keaton Mask pickup.
Which honestly I like. Because, for example, if your save quits in CAC, then you're going to be grateful that you've got that mask. You can turn it in, and, worst case scenario, you wasted a few seconds. Best case scenario, you've already started Skull Mask, and find out later on that, shoot, I actually needed Skull Mask. So
yeah, we saw Boomerang Chest is dead.
There's a shield pickup.
Yeah, the discount's not consistent. It's random based on who buys it. It's not seeded. See, rockchalk's discount was I think only I actually got a decent 30 rupee discount. Or no, I don't think he went to Child Shooting, so it was only a 10 rupee discount.
They are going to grab Richard as well.
Yeah, talking about Sun Song here, Richard has become one of those checks. It's been difficult for runners to route in Season 6. Having Sun Song just guarantees that those two checks in market are just done. You're just done. You don't have to worry about them anymore. And then, of course, you'll see rockchalk here, grab the skull and play Sun Song to warp back to the door, which will actually save a little bit of time.
Doc, do you practice these types of openings, or do you just think about them whenever you see your file save screen when you get a seed generated?
When I see Master Sword, it's almost certainly this opener. You go to CAC. If CAC doesn't have anything like Bomb Bag or anything that might indicate like, oh, I need to go to X location, you save quit, you go Child, you do Market, you do Lon Lon, you save quit, and then you just kind of start winging it from there.
That's fair.
So this is a very, very standard opener here.
Yeah, it looks like Favio is going to follow rockchalk into Lon Lon.
Yeah, and the one nice thing about their position, also, by the way, welcome in ZeldaSpeedRuns.
Yes, welcome Raiders. We are just kicking off some more Season 6 action here. Got a loser's bracket match, elimination match between Favio and rockchalk. We've just kicked off 10.5 minutes in.
It's amazing. Two incredible runners. But what I was going to say is that they're in a nice position right now that should Child not really pay out in getting explosives, they could, if they choose, go GTG early, especially if they get Strength 2, Song Time, bow, and buy bomb shoes along the way, which can actually get them some movement if they're still looking for bomb bag or some other form of explosives. Because of that early wallet, because of that early Eponas. So sometimes you'll see runners do that.
Yeah, and Saria's song. Oh, we can get into Forest Temple logically now.
Lots of child songs here, not a whole lot of warp songs.
And don't adjust your screen. That is correct. We've got long shot within 11 minutes. Nate, within 4 minutes we have long shot.
Oh, glory. Well, and again, the fascinating thing is that CAC is double way of the hero. And if we're talking GGG access, they have long shot, but they also got Eponas from there. And so it's like, are one of them pointing to GGG? Are neither of them pointing to GGG? Who knows? Probably neither, but GGG's still a great play right now, especially if nothing else really pays out in this early child segment.
You know, I forgot Epona song was in the windmill too. That's now on the path command. And we are
Oh.
not a great child's fun.
No. It does give you a little bit of flexibility, like if you want to go, like if you get explosives, you can do Field into Valley Lake. If you want to go to CAC, nice easy access to CAC. Kokiri Forest, I mean, it's about 1 minute hike, but it's really, you're kind of in a central location with that safe spawn, so it's not terrible.
Oh yeah, the funny thing about that spawn is if it's nighttime, you fall into the river.
Yeah, it's so true.
Oh, that's funny.
Yep.
And we are getting divergence. We're heading toward Gerudo Valley and rockchalk heading toward Kokiri Forest.
Mm-hmm. rockchalk guaranteeing it be night. When he walks into here, get an extra skull out of this for free. So, not a bad idea.
Yeah, when you have Raid Mido.
I do like this play from Favio in the sense that, like, because it has been relatively on the drier side, yes, hook shot, long shot, and strength are important, but bomb bag has to show up early in most seeds. And so really, like, farming out some of these Sphere 0 checks or checks that don't require any items to complete is some pretty good routing logic. It might lose Favio some time, but at least they can set Scarecrow along the way, which could be helpful in the long term. Well, actually not really, because they have long shot.
Something to keep in mind, though, we did get Saria's song from Lon Lon Ranch, so Forest is open, and we do have the means to poke around the courtyard. I'd be curious to see how long our runners go through a dry child seed and not sort of be tempted to go, into perhaps Forest Temple.
Yeah. I think it's going to be one of the places that they go quickly in Adult 2. Their second adult segment is they'll probably do Death Mountain Crater, grab the song, Sacred Forest Meadow, grab the song, Dip Forest. Pretty classic Adult 2 when you're in kind of this position.
Nothing in Valley. Oh, Stone of Agony might have said. So that was all junk and 40 is dead.
Yeah, it's a good point, Bad Chat. Favio plays this very long-winded style where they'll go through each of their age phases, their age cycles, about as completely as possible before heading back to adult or child.
And 50 is also dead, so that Sun Song start.
Yeah.
I was saying before the race, like, oh, we're starting with Sun Song, watch all the skulls be dead. And sure enough.
There it is. Yeah, I definitely am more of a fan of, like, longer age segments if you have a terrible child spawn with no prelude or serenade. So, like, if your spawn is Kokiri Forest, for example, and you don't have prelude, you don't have serenade, you know that once you go child, it's going to be a hike to go back adult. So oftentimes you will clean more of child, knowing that you want to make that child segment as efficient as possible.
That was a field path, I think. Oh, go ahead.
That? Oh, I was going to say, in this case, it's a pretty easy access back to adult, so it's not as time-consuming.
Yeah, Hyrule Field's path to Twin Roba.
Didn't mean to cut you off there, Doc.
No worries. I expect over the course of 3 hours, we're all going to cut each other off, so I take no offense to it.
Yeah, it'll happen.
With 3 of us? Oh my god, yes.
Oh, the water was a piece of heart, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it was a piece of heart there on the letter spot.
Yeah,
Let's see. Skull Kid tried to play Sonata, but got the first 4 notes. Sonata of Awakening, March of Our Smash got the first 4 notes mixed up. And we got fire arrows.
cool. That's usually my response or my reaction whenever I get it on a seat. I'm like, thanks, game. Like, you're technically useful, but I don't really think you are.
And then when you find them in a path the Twin Rova place.
I'm really curious to see what this song is going to be. We're missing 2 pretty key songs that open up a lot of checks, i.e. Zelda's Lullaby and Song Storms. Would not be surprised with the items that we found so far if one of those 2 songs is here instead of Christmas.
I want to see Requiem first, though.
Yeah, Requiem could be nice. No way to do Child Spirit. You can peek all of Child Spirit, but can't do it with the items that we've got so far. But yeah, I mean, it's a free song, so why not?
We are going to see the open grotto.
Yeah, just the open grotto. And there is ZL.
There it is.
We have the first 4 child songs already.
Do we have a Frox 2 hint?
On Ranch to PG and Chickens is a
Chicken is a bow. Okay.
Oh, damn, that is a good hint.
Yeah, it's a good hint. It's not path, though. It's hinted.
Here's the challenge, though. Fabio is going to go almost certainly straight to CAC. And miss being able to get that graveyard song. And so they may have to go back to CAC afterwards. Once they get Zelda's Lullaby.
River Valley Hammerrock's chest is dead. So yeah, that on Ranch to Phantom Ganon. Gee, thanks. Second SFM was a duplicate of the Hyrule Field to Twin Rova hint. Fabio doesn't know that this has a bow.
Fabio? No, he's the one who got the hint. He got it in field.
Oh wait, Rockchalk's the one that they both saw the hints. They both saw hints at the same time.
Yeah. So this looks. Where are you? Oh, you are doing Field Valley Lake.
He's
except for
doing
just in
that.
the opposite direction. Yeah. Again, not a bad play when you're looking for some pretty key items to clear out your locations that don't require items. Because again, either Bomb Bag or Hammer's gotta show up soon.
Could be some defense here by rockchalk as well. It's pretty well known that Fabio's strategy is these long age segments. So I feel like if you think you're on a pretty even level playing field on terms of the technical level, then this would just be a call of, do I want to do the same checks as them and try to race them at the finish, or do I want to avoid those checks and try to, save a little time that way? He seems to be just doing a thorough routing.
Yep. One of the things you'll often see happen when people have Sunsong is that they'll turn it to top of night, do Cack Skulls, do Dampe, and then Sunsong and do Chickens. That way they don't have to leave, replay Sunsong, and then come back in. Can save you a little bit of time that way.
That's fair. Rock did just get that field path to Rova, hoping to spike an item there. That would have been nice. Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
BXR, what were you saying?
I don't know.
That's fair.
I ate his input. I'm sorry.
Actually, this is really smart from Fabio. I like this. Get Chickens, come up, use Strength to get into Lost Woods, and get into your CAC that way, while also getting yourself a useful item. I like this route.
Ooh, that's a big chest. Fabio looks like he's gonna go for it.
Oh, I love this strat.
Yeah, it's yeah, we have a very narrow time frame to do this, but looks like you got it.
There it is.
And it's a loss. That strat is not in logic. That requires bomb bag or hammer logically.
Yep. But a slick one to know.
If they do get explosives, that is crossing in logic.
Once we find
no
magic,
magic,
yeah.
no magic, yeah, no
Mhm,
magic.
mhm.
All right, so not quite yet.
But the fact that we have Epona's long shot lens, I agree with you. Kind of speaks towards like magic is probably out there somewhere, and the seed's gonna expect you to cross. It just feels that way. You know when you get that like sense of like, I think I know what the seed is asking me to do. This is one of those moments.
Yeah.
You can't let that lead you by the nose too much, though, because that's when that's just when you get got by the randomizer.
No, you're always gonna get got by the randomizer. You kidding?
You gotta keep your variance. You gotta keep your variance tolerance. You gotta play to your own risk and reward levels there.
Or you just do what I do in full clear seed. Like, it's the best strategy. Just 100% every time.
Well,
Yeah. You'll guaranteed beat the seed.
Maybe
Might
not
be the
well,
most
but
efficient way, yeah.
All right, just seeing trotting of some old ground here. Almost certainly rock chalk after this is gonna save quit. Do chickens, grab the song from graveyard, and do Dampe digging.
Like,
It just because. Oh, sorry. What were you saying, DXR?
Mark might be safe scumming, or you might just be scumming child fishing. As he saved right before going in.
That makes sense. A pretty early forest, I gotta admit. Hookshot, strength, bow, Sarias, all of forces in logic. So might be a good play after this to push an adult 2 is going and beating force. The downside is that you have terrible forced access.
yeah, I could see them going into Crater first as well, just hoping to get Minuet there.
Totally.
Well, that would invalidate Asaria's song path, though.
Oh, that's true. That's correct. All right, so we do have Sarias on path.
Maybe anything else in Ranch did we?
Oh, so Minuet's probably behind.
Probably vanilla.
Yeah, probably is just vanilla, of course.
Just somewhere dumb.
Yeah, just somewhere.
Yeah. So yeah, this is what I was talking about. So Rock Chalk's gonna set time of day tonight. Go do skulls, go do Dampe, probably go and get the song, and then reset it today in order to get that bow.
Could be
Rock
close
gonna
to
get
10.
the broken stick. He's gonna get these skulls.
Yeah, so there'll just be a couple shy of the 10 skull turn in.
Mm-hmm. And again, here's a situation where, I like Favio's play of if you don't know what Skull Mask is, just pick up the Keaton Mask. Rockshot in this situation could go grab the skull, turn in the Keaton Mask, and then be at least one step closer to Skull Mask should they need Skull Mask at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think it's very common. I guess a common take in the top runner community that you wouldn't do that unless it is hinted. I like the flexibility though. It's like Skull Mask. I don't know if it's just it could just be a waste of time. I think those are the margins that we're dealing with here. You know, like picking up and turning in Keaton Mask could cost you a race. It definitely can. You know, you could get sniped.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we've seen races come down to 10, 12 seconds. Very famously, there was a grand finals that came down to 12 seconds. If you haven't seen that race, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and there was an S5 race decided by 1 second.
Yeah, that season 3 grand finals is single-handedly responsible for me being in the comms booth today. So we try to bring you the drama here at ZSR.
I missed this the first time. Gerudo Valley Hammer is dead. I love that hint because you are just done with Gerudo Valley. That's it. You're done. No mas.
And we get Requiem out of the Royal Tomb today.
Yeah, it kind of blows that neither one of these runners have the ability to even dip Child Spirit. No bomb juice, no slingshot, no boomerang means that there's nothing you can do. Just peek those first 2 checks.
Oh.
He says before there's like a slingshot. That's just iron boots.
Okay.
It's fine.
Can go kill Morpha?
Water, apart from Song of Time, is 100% in logic. Ew. It's Force Medallion.
It's Prelude.
gosh.
Yeah, it's Prelude.
Oh wait, we don't have explosives for the
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Crackball and
Yeah.
logically the boss key chest right now since we don't have hovers. And yeah, there's Central Bow Target and River Chest. Yeah, there's also River Chest, which you don't have Song of Time.
God, I had a seed recently where long shot was in the push block that requires either long shot or hovers to get, and hovers was on 40 skulls. So you had to do 40 skulls for hovers for long shot to beat the seed, and I was like, screw you, game. Like, why you got to do this to me?
That's a yikes.
It was a hot yikes.
Ooh, is that just a hair late?
Yeah, the irons are completely out of logic anyways because we don't have magic.
Oh, hair
The
late.
straight pot failed
Yeah.
on Fabio's side.
I gave it the old college try. Gonna wait till.
Dr.
Bomb Cheese
Carpenter
comes.
percent.
Yeah, so to answer the question in chat, we have fire arrows in logic, we have bow in logic. So once we get magic, that quickly becomes in logic. So it's not too far out of logic, but it is still just ever so slightly out of logic.
And we are gonna get a song out of Colossus.
Yeah, we finally have a warp song, but it is Requiem, so yeah. No way to do Child Spirits. Small.
Oh, rock chalk. Doing my old peak. I mean, it's not my peak, but it's definitely the peak that I prefer versus the run up against the wall here and try to do the see up. I can't see that one. Just go to the corner of the platform and see up.
Okay, well, there's Song of Time. Song of Storm's away from Unhinted Frogs 2, anyone?
Oh my god.
So here's the
It's not even available.
Jeez. I know. Could you imagine getting all the songs to do Frogs 2 before you even get the access to do Frogs 2? I think you go Forest. As terrible as that sounds, because it's such a hike.
I definitely think you go Forest first.
Yeah. Both of these runners are just gonna have to hike. It's just the only way.
I want to see River from one of these runners, but it's gonna be really hard for them to get out there. We've seen it time and time again that River holding the goods.
And Alfalfa bringing up a good point with those irons. Doing river into Forest Temple. It's not a bad idea. 3 hints, 3 checks. And almost certain these runners can do the lower river and upper river check just without any other items.
Yeah.
Yeah. So river into forest is what I want to be seeing here. Takes a little bit of the sting out of that long walk. If you can do a couple of checks along the way.
So we're kind of back at a converging point here where Favio did a little bit of Child Goron City and a little bit of Death Mountain Trail over Rock Chalk, but by and large, same checks, same items walking into the second adult segment. So Rock Chalk will have a slight time advantage that way.
You do have the option of buying shoes here, but I'll leave that up to Doc to decide whether that's a good idea or not.
I thought about it as I was like sitting here thinking of like what would be my route. I think because Forest is so in logic, I think you just have to do Forest first. But let me tell you, if Forest doesn't pay out, I am going GGG and I'm buying my bomb shoes.
Seems pretty fair.
Because more than likely, bombs are going to be available within the first early portion of the seed because there are so many checks locked behind bomb bag. I mean, just an astronomical amount of checks locked behind bomb bag. The seed has to put it earlier in the game. Now, you could still get it at the 2-hour mark. Don't get me wrong, but you could but even then, like the game expects you to get bomb bag on the earlier side of things, all things considered.
That's the caveat of a doctor speaking from experience.
who's beaten many a seeds without even touching bomb bag and just being like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, not opposed to this route by Rock Chalk. Rock Chalk hasn't seen Death Mountain Trail, hasn't gone Crater, can get an extra song out of Crater on their way to go into Sacred Forest Meadow. So it's just an alternative way to be able to get some checks while you're heading towards your next progression dungeon. Yeah, which I think is something that you see from really strong players is how can they do checks while also moving towards the things that they have to do.
I was going to say he was putting another CAC path to Bongo check-in here, but just some nuts.
Yeah, what were our two? Because again, my ADHD kicks in. What were our two CAC paths?
Morpha.
Bongo and Morpha. I think we figured out Morpha.
Yeah, I think we got Morpha. I think we got that one.
Still trying to figure out Bongo though.
Yeah, that one's not as straightforward. You're right.
Because it's not the other hookshot because we have a bow freely available.
Uh-huh. And it can't be bow because bow was hinted as a sometimes hint. Reminder to everyone, sometimes hints. So if you have a sometimes hint in a path location, that automatically removes that item from the possible path target. So by being hinted as Cuckoos is a bow, that means that bow cannot be the destination of those path hints in Kakariko. Which sucks, because bow could easily be for Shadow and easily, well, not easily, but could be for Shadow, could be for Water.
And that opponent song, that's only for either HBA or Big Pose at this point, if that's required.
Yeah.
Or Snogs too, because we still don't have a hint for that.
God. Yeah, you're not wrong. Rock Chalk. So Rock Chalk electing to not check the maze in this situation. I think
here we go.
I think I am somebody who usually elects to check the maze when possible.
Got ourselves a horse. Oh, going to river though. Okay, I thought we might be seeing GTG, but just using the horse to get across the field.
That would be a play.
I know. I was rubbing my hands together. I was getting excited.
Hey, a good warp song.
For reals though.
A scale in the alcove up there?
I think it's hammer. If I saw correctly.
Oh, if that's hammer, ooh, that's a big one.
Uh-huh. And again, with this route,
we still got storms on AD, possibly.
Ugh. Yeah, what if that's hammer? What that means for rockchalk is that he will be able to do. Yep, there's hammer. He will be able to do all of the explosive block checks on his way to forest, making that trek just a little bit more efficient than what Favio will do.
Did you go peek your head in the fire or not?
Not right now.
No.
Skull has the mirror shield. That's required.
There it is.
No. The only reason I wouldn't peek into fire is with 3 hearts, you can't get out of fire.
That's fair.
So your only option would be to then Nocturne, which would just waste more time overall. Otherwise, though, I totally agree with your play of like dipping fire. I think it's oh, there's Prelude. I don't think it's a terrible idea to dip fire, but if you have no way out of fire, I think it's a little bit too risky.
Yeah, it's totally fair. We are pretty heart light.
Yeah.
AD might be dead, but this is not a great stone layout.
Mm-mm.
Hey, Kohiri sword.
All right.
Need that.
All right.
Ooh, Favio might have bomb cheese in mind.
Bolero on burning cack today.
So there's 3 of our orb songs. So Storms is not AD, it's not Nocturne, and it's not Ice Cavern. So Storms is either the Minuet check or behind Water Temple. Which is a pretty easily accessed Storms. And if it's at Minuet, that's really good for rockchalk. Because that means that with Kokiri Sword and Storms, that's a pretty efficient child segment.
Rocks 2 is dead, so much for that. Stormers being needed for that.
Womp womp. That made me sad.
Ooh, we could be seeing Tin Skull turn in here.
I was like, wait, did Favio confirm Scarecrow song? Did I miss that?
Oh no, he's gonna go into DC first. Yeah, rockchalk go into DC first.
Yeah, it looks like just clearing out the that big chest that he had seen earlier. Oh, and here's the peak. Well, I mean, not even peak. You can get all 3 of these jacks.
Yeah, now you can get them.
Yep. And usually at this stage in the game, you will end up going and doing this, even if all 3 are dead, just because that hint, like, hints are so valuable in S6.
And yeah, there's that. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that is just worth, it's just worth coming here, even just for the hint itself. Anyway, what were you saying?
Vanilla Minuet, as we suspected.
It's really gonna put a priority on Water Temple as well. Found some bombs. I think you really want to think about clearing out Water Temple.
Yeah. Well, because at this point, water has to have, or beyond water has to have Song of Storms.
Right. And we know it's Prelude, actually, because we know Bolero is on the Nocturne. Burn Cack, yeah. Yeah, duplicate.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see rockchalk after this, going straight to water, even without explosives, because explosives only really locks 1 check. and they have everything else that they need. They've got long shot, they've got bow, they've got strength, they've got irons. So sans that one check, they can do all of water and get storms, making their child even more efficient. So I think rockchalk, just because of that hammer, is setting themselves up to be more efficient as they go through Lost Woods, as they go into water, and then as they go into the next child segment.
Not as thorough as they could have been. They could have poked their head into Dodongo's cavern, but it is a stone, and they don't have bombs, so can't go kill the king. So, I mean, I understand.
Yeah, quite a lack of explosives so far.
Yeah, well, and again, what's surprising is that they've opened up quite a sizable amount of small chests and no chews, and they're only at 4 hearts.
Yeah.
Which is pretty rare at this point in the seed.
I've got 14 skulls.
We've not seen a 30 as of this point, right?
30 was at Temple of Time.
Oh, sorry. So we know that all skull checks are dead. Okay, besides 20. I got it.
Yeah, 10 and 20 are still in it.
Gotcha.
Which is why I like this play from Favio of like pushing 20. Because you just don't have a clear... I mean, the Morpha we got, check. It's either hookshot or hookshot. Great, cool, whatever. But for Bongo, we don't really have a clear answer. So I think this is really smart to like get your 10 out of the way, get your 20 out of the way, and then if nothing else, then you're like, okay, cool, it's either the Redead Grotto or it's that Epona's.
Alright, we're 43 minutes into some exciting action. Right into a screeching halt at Double Forest.
Yeah, we don't even have any of the cool items to make Forest interesting. Like, if we had hovers, it could be like, look at this cool hover strat. Or if we had furores, it's like, oh my god, look at this cool furore strat. Instead, it's like, oh my god, look at this block push.
Oh, right, one hook could be Pat. Well...
That's what I was asking
no,
earlier.
They can't... I thought you couldn't have one hook shot be Pat the Bongo if they're both available, and you have a bow.
That's what I thought.
I'm leaning towards you guys being correct on that one.
Look, here's what I've learned about logic. Until you have the answer, you don't fully understand the logic. Like, even if you think you fully understand the logic, the seed goes, haha, just kidding. Here's this curveball that you wouldn't have seen coming, and you're like, what? Sorry. Classic example is my losers bracket round 2 match where I lost because Bombag was on Light Arrow cutscene after fire and Deku Tree. Like, it was just a hot disaster.
And recoil, no
I
problem.
was getting at with Longshot is that there's separate items. Like, if you look in the spoiler log on the list of path items, there's separate items on that list. So if it turns out that both items are on both lists, then you could get one chosen for one path and the other chosen for the other. Because there's separate items on path. They're separate checks on separate items. Even though they're functionally the same, I think they can be hinted individually.
Thanks, Star.
But both hook shots are available, and you don't need long shot for Shadow if you have a bow. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, unless there's something in water. Well, even then. Again, we will find out shortly when they turn in 10-20 and do Redead. Because when we find hover boots, we'll be like, oh, there it is. That makes sense.
Well, I'm gonna really put it on you. It's actually long shot for both, but that's because there's a slingshot on Shoot the Sun, and we need it for Goma, whatever's on Goma Heart Piece. Hovers on Goma.
Look, I'm no longer in this tournament because of long shot for slingshots, so like I don't want to hear it. That's how I. Not that I'm being salty or raw, but that was the logic of the seed that I lost, was long shot to slingshot to beat Deku to get bomb bag on lighter cutscene. I hate this game.
With 3 in the booth here, VXR being so strong on the play-by-play and Doc on the analysis, I've afforded myself the opportunity to become the hype man and the what's the worst thing possible guy. I'm kind of digging it. I'm kind of liking it.
Okay, so the thing about the back of Shadow is you either need
Go VXR, go!
Please,
you either need to shoot an arrow at the bomb flowers to knock down a statue, or you use Pierre with the long shots. And the long shot over.
Yo, and I only know that because I've had first logical bow on Bongo Bongo. And I cried.
That's a great one.
It's a great one. So I had a seed where I did not know how to do the bomb chew strat. And I only had a hook shot, and so I was like, well, if there's a time to learn, now's the time. And I did learned the bomb chew strat on the fly, and then got to Bongo Bongo and it was bow, and I was like, are you kidding me? You piece of seed. So yeah, it happens. If there's ever a worst case scenario, we will find it. This seed will generate it. You think that you've had bad seeds, and the generator will somehow find a way to make it worse.
I kind of forgot I had these stream meme overlays that are actually working now, and I can do things like this.
Yes.
I should have done this once we were doing chickens.
Say let's VXR.
Dropping fun little emotes like this. I think the thing that surprises me the most about this force so far is the fact that we have not found a useful item.
Yeah, it's complete and utter lack of usefulness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because force is in logic so quickly. Strength is what we would call sphere 0, or does not require any items to obtain. Hookshot sphere 0, doesn't require any items. Bow is sphere 0, doesn't require any items. Saria's song is sphere 0. Everything to get into forest is openly available when you start the seed without a single other item. And we haven't found anything in forest.
Favio's a keyboard gamer, though.
Yeah, Favio hit that way better than I could, and I do not play on keyboard. Just why he's in round 4 and I'm not.
Well, Doc, we're sad to see you leave the tournament, but we're happy you're here with us here tonight for this, elimination action here.
It's my consolation prize.
I was not paying attention to the forced heal out either.
To force what?
To see if we were hovers locked or not.
Well, that was the big key, VXR. I can help you there.
I don't think we were, if I was watching. I think they had enough keys to be able to get into the courtyard.
I want to say too.
Could they be hovers locked? Absolutely. But I think just kind of from my gross observation, I think they had enough keys. I will say the one fun thing is to watch some people's strategies on how to handle the pose. If there's one thing that I can talk about in Forest Temple, is you will see some people go for the shot strat right here. They shoot, Deku Nut, jump slash. Nice and easy with Big Goron Sword. Other people you'll just see and just do the crouch stab strat, which is a little bit faster when you have Master Sword. Big Goron, it's kind of pennies on the dollar. But yeah, you'll see some different approaches to how to do big pose or how to do these pose, which can be fun. And that's about all I can say about this Forest Temple. Ooh, one other cool fact. Did you know that Meg, so the purple Poe, you can actually figure out which Poe is the real Poe because the shadow of the real Poe appears 1 frame earlier than all the other shadows. So you can technically snipe it even before it starts spinning.
I did not know that.
Fun fact, yeah. Do I do that? No. But could you? Yes. So you'll see some runners be able to snipe that Poe even before they start spinning, and it's because they're watching the shadows, and the shadow of the real Poe shows up a frame earlier than all the other shadows. Yeah. I added something to Forest Temple.
Well, that'd be about the only thing useful here, because this is like we're at 2 strikes and Phantom Ganon. Nothing in the basement here. I'm concerned. Where do we go next? I guess GTG.
Rockchalk can do Deku.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Could do water, could do GTG.
Yeah, I think actually, I think just for the sheer value of Song of Storms and Bottom of the Well, I think you'd go beat water. It's a required dungeon, and it unlocks a shocking amount of very efficient checks.
Are you gonna go buy bomb shoes first?
And that's my only argument for GGG is explosives. Because that wallet without bomb shoes or bomb bag, God, makes bomb shoes so enticing right now.
Hear me out. Requiem, buy bomb shoes, hook your head into GTG, and then dive down to water.
It's not a bad idea. And you get to use that Eponas and see if something like horseback archery is required. And with long shot, you can possibly get the roof chest. So honestly, it's not a bad route.
Now, if only I could control Link the character, I might have a shot. Oh, I'm never completing a seed. But anyway. Oh, making it look nice and pretty. That's Phantom Ganon down on Favio's side. Woo! Good kill.
Yeah, and to Alfalfa's point, Field to Roba, I think looks a lot better for rockchalk in this situation, given the fact that they have hammer. And again, really using that hammer to their advantage to just kind of gain little bits of lead here and there, where they were able to, clear out Death Mountain Crater. They were able to clear out Lost Woods, and now they're going to be able to clear out Field. Like, it just kind of gives them just that little bit of efficiency that Fabio's going to be missing out on.
I'm missing one path, although it's probably DMC, whether it's Path to Goma or Path to Volvagia.
Probably.
Whichever one went to River, I believe that was Favio.
Yep, Favio got that hint about the Mirror Shield. Rockchalk is missing that hint.
Rogs 1 is dead.
Yeah, and there you go. I think this is a reverse play, which isn't honestly not a bad idea at all. Get you explosives, get you a whole number of checks, in the way of like Gerudo Fortress, GGG, into Water Temple, which will get you Song of Storm. So it's a good route for what Favio has in this moment.
Yeah, really missing out on that hammer there, like you were talking about. Just being able to get that field path. Likely strength 2, I guess.
Strength 2 or magic? Well, not magic because they've got Requiem. Yeah, it's probably strength 2. Which would make GGG even more efficient, and again, like that, it's these little bits of routing changes that can slowly start to snowball over time.
Yeah, it could be magic for a fire locked key. Could be.
Rock chalk? I don't think he meant to take the elevator.
Free ride.
Alrighty.
I can't tell if Alfalfa is playing with me.
No, don't listen to Alfalfa. It's not faster. Oh, you take. Wait, is it really? What? Holy shit! I was like, nah, Alfalfa's lying.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Oh, fascinating. Save quit into field, I'm assuming.
Don't the chest. Oh, I see. No?
Yeah, this is probably field, water, and then probably child for mirror shield. I'm doing R.
Another pretty Phantom Ganon kill there on Rockchalk's side.
Smart of Favio to remember money. You need 30 rupees for Favio's route here. 10 for the scrub, 24 fishing.
Man, that reverse to Chubai and not going to GTG, I actually like that even better because, as you can see, that was so quick. Favio is still out ahead of Rockchalk into getting to field. And that's the letter!
Dear God.
No!
Well, Boomerang just is into dead, and it's Serenade and Ice, so,
Ooh. Oh, sorry, who said that? What?
He was saying Boo earns.
Oh. Come on, field. Give us strength too. Don't do this to us. And the worst part is, it's not even a bottle that you can use right now for Big Pose, which would be nice to check Big Pose, but can't even do that.
I do not have an logic way of turning in that letter right now.
Nope.
Alright, Tag Grotto, do you have something for us? Stick.
Yep. And Rockchalk electing to walk out. I think this is a very smart play. Going straight to field.
$14 skulls on Rock's side.
So, fun fact, if you hug the side of Lon Lon Ranch, opponent will 100% of the time jump the fence.
Oh.
Yeah.
Big Pose is not hinted, but we don't have a way to catch Big Pose right now.
Nope.
And we just get that Ruda's letter from the Boulder of Destiny.
Oh, well, there's the other Skull Mask hint, so Rock's gonna get that.
Yep.
It's good for Rock.
One check left in field. Otherwise, field is path to letter, which is you hope is Ice Cavern, but there's always a chance it could be Jabu, and we know that the first check in Jabu is not required. So if it is Jabu, that's a boomerang that we would still need to find.
Yeah. Other than that, everything else letter locked we can do. Well, once we have a way to turn in the letter logically.
Alright, field scrub.
Oh, piece of
There it
art,
is.
so it's Bruto's letter path.
That's disgusting.
So, and here's the other thing is that you're gonna notice that rockchalk isn't gonna be able to do that Northern Hyrule, or is electing not to do Northern Hyrule Field right now. So we'll miss out on the letter for now. Probably, well, but here's the thing: they can't get it in Child because they don't have bomb chews. They have only access to explosive lock checks as adult given a hammer. So they're gonna have to either route it in as adult or forego it for now and hopefully come back once they get bomb back or bomb chews.
Be a full lake clear out because we can grab that sling on Shoot the Sun. Even have the irons and hookshot to cheese lab dive. While we go catch a lunker, I'd like to wish everyone a happy 1 hour. Thank you for joining us today here on ZSR2. We are broadcasting Favio versus rockchalk. Thank you to the runners for agreeing to this restream and putting on such an entertaining race thus far. My name is Hagmania. I'm joined in the comms booth by Doc Heaps and VXR. Thank you guys for the lovely comms tonight.
Absolutely.
What have I created?
A big shout outs to our trackers, Lava Plume and Star. As always, pressing all the buttons so we don't have to.
Thank God.
VX, are you on restream duty?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. That's the double in the business. And who's our race monitor for today? Lest we forget.
Oh God, Hag. Also, thank you so much for being here. Of course, you know, as the proud creator, well, not creator, but the reason why this meme exists, for better or for worse. Here we are.
Oh, you're the one that's explaining the meme, so
Oh,
I'm
God.
just mentioning it in passing.
I love that for all of us. Again, barely at 4 hearts, which is 4 hearts is enough to do Central Pillar if you're fast. Like, you can nail that out in 4 hearts, but not enough to do everything that you need in Fire. So if they are hoping to do Fire in the nearest future, probably not. I think they've got enough to do otherwise. They're either going to want to buy a tunic, which is possible with a wallet, or get a 5th heart, or a bottle. One of the 3.
Now I'm imagining some weird tunic logic for Deep Fire having our hover boots or something. I guess there are lots of ways that doesn't work, but anyway.
Look, I don't doubt the Seed's ability to create something dumb. As somebody who has been a victim of it, I understand. Alright, we got our first play into Water Temple here again. Favio able to clear everything out with those bomb chews. rockchalk able to do everything but the cracked wall. It's a 1 in 10 chance that boss key will be there. So pretty good odds of rockchalk being able to gamble this and still being able to beat water. Especially because you need 5 keys in this first central area. So pretty good shot that there's just a small key there.
Could not see what that cracked ball was. Rockman is not vanilla. It's Requiem is where was it?
It was
Composer's Grave? No.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, Composer's Grave. Yep. All right, hot take. Are you a map chest first or a compass chest? So are you a Favio side first or a rockchalk side first?
I would have been on whatever side allowed me to scum both the water level and my possible chew usage. So, is there a way for me to do that?
All these people saying compass chest first, just being wrong. It's map chest first, baby, all the time. all day, every day. It's one of the few divergences that you'll see in water. Is some people will elect to do the 3 checks in a row first. Other people will elect to do compass first. I am a proponent of doing map chest first, because then you can do compass chest with the block push and make it more efficient. Watch this. Look, you jump down, you shoot, you long shot over, you drop down and do compass. You don't have to swim. Just so nice. Look how nice this is.
Another small key.
Do we have any sometimes hints in for Water Temple?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we've used up all of our sometimes hints.
Fun little peek you can do here, by the way. You get yourself into the corner of this big long hallway. 4 side hops left, 2 right, and then C up. And you can actually peek this chest without having to come and actually pick it up. It's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice peek to save you a little bit of time. And you don't have to swim and face the little enemies. It's just better. Just all around better.
Our dungeons have been hot garbage thus far. They've had nothing. A lot of keys though in water, so might see an item here.
So, and here's the fascinating thing about water that as I've been thinking, water is not bomb locked. Cracked Wall had a small chest, not key, so the ability to beat Water Temple does not require bomb bag. So bomb bag could be Song of Storms locked. It could be Bottom of the Well. Could be your first bomb bag.
Yeah, vanilla boss key today.
Chat's gonna grieve me for rooting for map chest.
Mike's not cooperating exactly. Water keys, let's see. Compass was 1, map was 1, control target was 1. Control pillar's another one.
So dragon would have our 5th key. I think that checks out.
I would be really tempted to clear out as much of water as I could. That's totally a variance play. I think I'd start to become a little bit worried in either of the runner's shoes. I guess maybe not in rockchalk side. You've got the Kakiri sword, so you do have more checks to do. I just.
And it looks like Fabio is going to be committing to doing the whole of Water Temple.
Trapping him against the door. That's a quick kill on Morpha. Rockchalk. Loving these boss strats thus far. Great technique.
Yeah, I was about to say, I looked away. I was looking at Fabio's screen, and when I looked back, Morpho was in their death animation. I was like, well, okay.
Fabio is heading towards the Dark Link and River Chest loop, which rockchalk, at least for now, isn't going to check. There's a piece of heart on the Morph Heart container.
Mm-hmm. Which is item number 3 out of Water Temple. So, one item left that they can get either on Dark Link or on River Chest.
Not a key. Not a skull teller you see picked up too often there. On Fabio's side.
Yeah, not really. I wonder if he's also going to elect to get the skull in River, knowing that he's probably pushing towards 20.
Saga time was... Oh, I want to say Bolero.
Yeah, that sounds right. Does
ILBRP.
No worries. No, Bolero had Nocturne.
Oh, right, Nocturne.
Song of Time was in a location. It was the Requiem location.
Oh, it was at Requiem.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
there you go.
I was like, oh. There's storms. And again, because Rockchalk does not have a form of explosives, will not be able to get ladder this. Oh no, the second I said literally anything, I was proven wrong. I was worried about the fact that no explosives means that these field checks have to be done with Hammer as adult. But Rockchalk's on his way to go get it right now.
Yeah, it's a pretty heads-up play by Rockchalk. I really like his decision-making this game. Even if I feel pretty sympathetic to Fabio clearing out water, I also really like Rockchalk's decisions here.
Yeah, yeah, Rockchalk again. It all sadly it all has like started with that hammer, and it's just kind of slowly been building as time has gone on.
Yeah, definitely.
So definitely a chance that he could do GTG. I could also just see with Kokiri's sword and with Storms, there's just a really strong argument to going straight to Child and just pushing Child fast and hard. Because Deku Tree and Bottom of the Well are just so check dense that the odds of you getting a bomb bag out of one of those two locations is much stronger than like the time it would take to go and get bomb juice. Would be my argument. That said, they're probably just in GTG and I'm wrong, which happens all the time. So I guess to that extent, Hag, what's your favorite dungeon?
I really like watching Spirit and playing through it. Yeah, I like watching and playing through Spirit. That's purely from I love the theme, and I love that it's double age. So
yeah, definitely a really fun dungeon and really creative when it comes to logic. boring and as linear as it is, I love Shadow Temple.
That's fair, yeah.
And it's such a fun dungeon. It's just a fun dungeon to play.
Yeah, it's got a good combination of, clear the room out and then like the silver roofie puzzles and got the cool, huge room there with the floating platforms. Yep, Shadow's a pretty cool dungeon. I agree.
Yeah. And it's like just technical enough that you like are on, it keeps you on your toes. And like the theming's cool and there's lots of little tricks that can save you time. It's just a fun one.
And I'm back.
Welcome back, VXR. You're just in time for a Favio quick kill onto Morpha. Here we go. And got it. Easy peasy.
We were talking, what's your favorite, because we're talking about different dungeons that they could be doing right now. And pose the question, what's your favorite dungeon?
Maybe Spirit Temple, I think.
That's my
That's what Had said.
Yeah.
Said. What about Spirit do you like?
The music, the whole child and adult thing.
No, I think they did a really good job with Spirit. Oh my god, rockchalk. You almost missed.
Don't miss. Is this a fire temple?
Fascinating.
Oh, I guess it could be Dodongo's.
Interesting. I think if you're that close to Gerudo Fortress Spirit Temple, or Gerudo Fortress GGG, I think that you do those dungeons. I can see the argument of I can now do 2 progression dungeons, so I should prioritize those. I also think that you're missing enough items in the form of magic dins, hovers, strength 2, light arrows that pushing a high dense area, especially when you're, seconds away from it, is a valuable play. My 2 cents.
I'm going for back lake hints.
The Fabled.
Ooh, I love this bow shot. Getting the farthest corner. And there it is. Oh,
Nice.
What a beauty. Double backflip here. Nice and easy.
Love it. Oh, great. That's great.
I will be right back, y'all.
All right.
Not too much interesting has showed up, although we did see rockchalk clear out the rest of field, so they have their letter now. And they went and bought shoes, but are now probably going into Fire Temple, it looks like. Favio did indeed get the slingshot, yes. Yeah, Favio... Ooh, Favio gonna use a lot of shoes here, clearing out Lost Woods. Ooh.
He's only got 4 left right now.
Yeah, that's a good point. If he continues this into the crater, he'll get his hammer.
Yeah, Kokiri sword's there too.
So really, it's just the clearing out of water that's the real difference here. Aside from slight routing differences, I would say rockchalk having that hammer early, definitely gaining them a little bit of time. So rockchalk definitely with an advantage, but Favio right on his heels.
Yeah, I think... also, I'm back. I think there's enough seed here left that, we're going to start to see some converging points, and I think once we start to find some of these key items, like finding Strength 2, finding Magic and Hovers, like I think this is where we're going to start to see a runner pick up more of an advantage over another. I think we're still just missing too many items to be able to say that one runner is ahead of another. As I'm just kind of like reflecting on like, who would I say is ahead? We're just missing too much.
Right. Yeah, I think you'll definitely have a better picture around the time that these runners have finished their next child section. Because they're going to be at item parity, and I imagine they're going to be turning in the letter, clearing out Deku. So we'll really see how many of those items they still need to hunt for.
Yeah. And I guess my question for y'all is I was thinking about, you know, GGG versus not for rockchalk. Like, how have y'all enjoyed playing, or styles that you've seen, whether it be, you know, being more aggressive and only just pushing the locations that you have to do, versus being a little bit more conservative and maybe going out of your way to do some additional checks? Like, what are y'all's thoughts or approaches to seeds, especially in the Season 6 settings?
I'll let VXR speak first.
I'll start talking after we see what this big chest has.
Watch it just be bomb bag. It's just here the whole time.
Open another bow.
Just a bow. Cool.
Oh, the thing about S6 is, you know, you don't have foolish hints, so there's like no place you can cross off for when you're looking for a few items from go mode. So I think you push density if you're getting closer to go mode and trying to find where you're not. Yeah, you're.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm trying to say.
No, you're good. You're good. It's a layered question because, you know, a lot of it is very seed dependent, and I totally get that. I think by and large, I tend to play a little bit more conservatively, especially when I'm missing at least 2 items. Like if I'm missing 1 item, I think I tend to play a little bit more aggressively. But if I'm missing 2, 3, 4 items, I tend to be extra conservative because you've got so many places that are available, and being as sharp and as efficient as possible and not backtracking over locations can save you time over the course of 2, 3, 4 hours. Dear God, hopefully not 4 hours, but in the off chance that it is 4 hours.
My perspective on this question is purely theoretical. I'm not a competitive runner on this. I'm barely a runner of this game. I've just really poked my head into finishing seeds over the course of several days. Anyway, I haven't seen a runner yet that's as aggressive as I think that someone can be in this game. And I think really my reflections on OOTR is that there's still actually quite a big gap in technical execution, which from you know the top 128 runners here or whatever, there are still tiers within that, and I really do think that the tippy toppest of tier of runners can really afford that conservative play style because they just outmuscle other racers. Now we have seen this season that that gap is closing, so I do think eventually you're gonna have to see some more aggressive play to consistently put up wins. So I do think that in the future people are gonna want to consider, you know, I found an item in the front portion of this dungeon, should I be dipping out now? You know, I think those types of questions are going to be coming up in the future as that skill gap tightens. But yeah, it's a great place for the community to be because people are still learning, they're still improving. You can see it from tournament to tournament, and not just standard tournament to standard tournament. You know, the league. Just there's so many opportunities for competitive play these days. Oh, and that's unfortunate on rockchalk side.
So, just as an aside, based off of the items that rockchalk has, rockchalk needed 2 arrow shots in order to make that happen. With Big Goron sword, like hammer, Big Goron sword, bow, you can hammer jump slash big Goron sword, 2 arrow shots, hammer, jump slash big Goron sword, and get it, which is what rockchalk was aiming for. Whenever you Z target Volvagia, like it makes your ability to shoot Volvagia even harder versus just like YOLO free shots. And here's the Bombchu strats.
Nice. I think Bobby was trying to kill one of these skull kids. He got sniped in midair.
Not the skull kid. Oh my god, how much money do they give you? Oh my god. I'm sorry, what? Was that 200?
Yeah, they're saving it all for the next video game.
Oh my god. It's gonna be a hit, yep.
Oh, getting trolled.
Volvagia has a shockingly long range to their fire attack.
I bet he does take care of it.
Good recovery there. It's really good recovery and staying calm. That's really good of rockchalk.
Yep. So the Bombchu strats, when you have, so if you're not doing the hits in between, it's 7 Bombchus for Big Goron Sword. It's 9 Bombchus for Master Sword. So you've got to get 7 hits in a row before you do Hammer Jump Slash, which rockchalk was able to pull off. Inko, I got a little bit confused there for a second. I was like, Big Goron does 2/4. Like, what? 2 for normal slash 4 for jump slash. I was like, I smart.
Oh, his 20th skull.
Yeah, not bad given the fact that after this dungeon, they're going to be able to, with Song of Storms, go do Bottom of the Well, and turn in 10 and 20, and do Redead with those Bombchus all at the same time. So they're actually pretty well set up to full clear CAC and confirm what is that path to Bongo Bongo.
Zora Tunic is logically required to complete Water Temple.
Oh yeah, it is. How about that? That makes me sad.
No, Fabio doesn't have storms.
Yeah, rockchalk was the one that got storms.
I was like, I don't think so, but it's not going to take much for Fabio to get that Song of Storms.
I think rockchalk is going to be just a tad more efficient on the skull collection. They seem to have not gone out of the way as much as Fabio.
Yeah, this will be 19, and then 20 will be that one above Impo's house.
Nice. Oh, I love good skull routing.
Yeah, pretty good by both runners. I'd give the edge to rockchalk in this case, though.
Yeah, because you want to be hitting 20 right when you're walking into CAC. Like, that's the dream. Or 30, or 40, or 50, or whatever you need to do.
Alright, Redead say.
Nope.
Go to the skull house is what they say.
Or it's just on horseback archery the whole time.
Guess so.
Which would make me really sad for both of them. Because they were both there with the bonus and bow. Very, very likely that it's just here, though. right, let's see what we got. 20 is. Nothing.
That is, well,
I love this game so much.
we don't have a way to turn in Rudo's letter right now.
Oh, I love this game.
Where? If the bombs are just on the self, it's just insanity.
Not doing pose.
I love this game. Yeah, I think you skip pose for now. I agree with this. Like, you got so much in Child to do that's required. And best case scenario, it'll give you something pointing to Bongo Bongo, which is either magic, dins, or hovers, none of which you can use in Child anyway.
Right.
So, I'm not opposed to this. I still think it's funny, because the seed hates them. But I think you've got other more important things to do right now anyway.
Oh, this is a good point. Storms is kind of deep in the logic. We still don't have magic. We still don't have a fire source, right, for those boots?
Oh shit, you're right. I keep forgetting that they got those out of logic.
Okay, so we do have fire arrows. Okay, we do have fire arrows. So we find magic that puts storms into logic. Okay.
Yep. And this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier about grabbing the Keaton mask. Because if you are heading to CAC anyway and you don't have that hint, just having that mask already and just like popping up and turning it in can save you time. Now, most people might argue that over the course of X amount of seeds, you're probably losing more time than you're saving. But I tend to play more conservatively, so here we are.
He's now got his third medallion. And skip out on the rest of fire for now.
Ooh, okay, water key logic here.
Yeah, Storms is quite a bit out of logic right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so certain we want to be dipping into the well just yet.
Honestly, that's a good point about water. I don't remember the last time I did boss key the intended way, which is to say never. When it came to actually, like, I don't have hovers and I need to get to the boss key, I was just like, well, I'm just gonna pull up a YouTube video and learn how to do the side hop strat. So, good for y'all for having a better understanding of how to beat Water Temple than me. So really, we could have something like magic on horseback archery, which gets us iron boots.
Favio never actually... Wait, hold on. Okay. He realized. Okay.
And again, you're talking about path hints, right? Some of them are very obvious. It's like, this is the path to Kokiri, or to Deku Tree, and then you find Kokiri Sword, and you're like, huh, I wonder what it is. Others, sometimes you don't even find out until like 2 hours in, where you're like, oh, that's what the seed was trying to tell me? I get it now that I have been faffing around doing a whole bunch of other stuff. So sometimes you just don't fully realize what the seed was trying to tell you with regards to path hints until you are like knees deep into the seed.
I still really like clearing out water, clearing out water and fire there, but I can appreciate not going into the well until you put all that into logic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, Deku Tree is relatively early in logic with the strength and with the hook shot. So I think doing Deku first is a strong play. I definitely agree with that.
Oh!
Delicious.
That
Love
Bob's
that.
gonna choose on Slingshot. That's so
Love
funny.
that. An hour 36 in. Thanks, game. And especially after rockchalk went out of their way to buy bomb juice.
Yeah.
But like I also like, because bottom of the well is such a powerful dungeon. Even if it's out of logic, it will at worst cost you 3 or 4 minutes to do the entirety of bottom of the well, which is 11 checks. It's so powerful that you're so hard pressed, even out of logic, to skip bottom of the well.
Ooh, okay, Child Goron City. This has been quite the meme in Season 6, so... Goron City Pot, holding all the goodies this season. What's in Deku?
Oh, there's magic.
All right, so that gets us into water release.
Well, the iron boots are in logic, but the boss key still is not.
Big rolling with nothing.
Yeah. Great strat from Favio. Should be able to get this no problem. Setup looked good.
Yeah, yes, our first useful item in a dungeon. Yes, thank you, Deku Tree. And it makes sense given that water is probably kind of deep.
And then this looks like a Sun Song. Good use of Sun Song there. I like to point out these little time saves because I think this is what takes a good runner and makes them a great runner, is thinking about, like, I am at the bottom of the pot. I can either A, walk up, which will maybe take me 15 seconds, or B, play Sun Song, which will take me 8 to 10 seconds. And, 5 seconds here, 10 seconds there. Save time over the course of a run, for sure.
Another big chest here in Deku, in this room. 2 big chests.
Hello, darlings.
So that's gonna be another slingshot, another bow. Oh, Furrows is nice.
I'll take it.
The whole Furor's package in the front end of Deku here.
Look, nobody's gonna be mad at Furor's Wind.
And you gotta be thinking about dropping Furor's in Jabu. Now that you've got it, the option, you go turn in letter.
And with the save quit location, with choose, rockchalk's in a good spot to do like river, valley, and then go and use Furor's Wind and Jabu, opening up ice cavern, getting some pretty quality checks along the way. So, definitely not opposed to that.
And with just a little skip, heading into the Goma fight here.
Oh yeah, that letter was path, wasn't it?
Yeah. And with magic showing up here, that pretty much means it's gonna have to lead to strength 2.
I already have a fire source and bow. Slingshot was available with long shots, so it's not like child access. For like child keys or something like that. They've already got mirror. Yeah. Oh, bomb bag. Well, can't turn in letter without bomb bag or scale.
Bomb bag's here on Goma, don't you remember?
You say that. You say that. And then it's just gonna be right here.
Was shoot the sun the answer for our first logical bomb bag?
Please don't. I don't want to see it. Nope.
No, no.
God. All right.
Well,
So-
then where is it?
So Rockchalk's got some interesting options at this point. Whether they want to do bottom of the well, river domain. Actually, that's kind of really it. Or spirit, child spirit. There it is. That's option 3.
Yeah, child spirit's good.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you climb if you find the key.
With what strength 2, Alka?
The XR being sassy. I love it.
That's the old VXR Smackdown. It is Friday night after all.
All right, keyboard strat, everyone. Here we go. It's delicious. A little bit of an alternative setup. Missing those quasi ESS. Well, actually, it's probably not the ESS turns that he's missing. It's probably the A press. There it is. Yeah. As somebody who's been running this game for 3 years, I still pause buffer that. And I keep telling myself one day I'm gonna grow up and stop pause buffering, and then every time I do, I just pause buffer. I don't want to grow up.
2 small keys and child spirit.
So I think towards the question of like, do you climb or not? Knowing that ladder leads to spirit, I think you just chase that for strength 2.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. You've got magic, you've got a fire source, you've got mirror shield. All you're missing is strength, and climbing this as adult is more efficient. And so, I think I personally would do that. I say is strength 2 is just in, or like quote unquote strength 2, strength 3 is just in here, and I'm just wrong. Again, not the first time it would happen, won't be the last.
Oh, we're about to see the size of this bomb chew pack. Unless Favio already equipped them, I don't think they have. There's a 10 pack.
Everyone in chat is team climb. It's just me.
I kind of like your point though. What are you getting out of here that you wouldn't get out of here when you come as an adult? I guess the thought would be spiking that strength 3. That would really be your strength 2.
Chat pointing out Favio having done the skull mask, but then not proceeding to collect the reward. And if any of you have been in this situation before, where you're like, I did the thing, therefore I must have the reward. We've all been here. I do this often with Zelda's Lullaby, where I'm like, oh yeah, I did all the dungeons, therefore I must have Zelda's Lullaby. And then I go to play Zelda's Lullaby, and I'm like, why isn't it working? And I'm like, oh yeah, you have to pick up Zelda's Lullaby before you can play Zelda's Lullaby. So I think many of us have been in this situation before.
Okay, the stop post took a dive anyways. So just the keys and child spirit, that's it.
Yeah, I do think that he'll go turn it in now that he still has it on his, that he's wearing it here in the Spirit Temple.
So this will be a nice strat. You'll see a save here from rockchalk. And then if Fairy doesn't have anything, can use that as their kind of like method of reset while also getting back that one chew. Not to say that they super need to scum chews at this point, but without a bomb bag, almost 2 hours in, you just kind of have to be a little bit cognizant of your bomb chew use.
Even more shoes.
Never mind. Ignore everything that. Did he just scum those anyway?
No, he saved.
Oh, okay. I was like, remember how I talked about how the seed loves to prove me wrong? There you go. That's the seed proving me wrong.
Okay, so now I'm thinking about... Okay, now you've got 21 chews. Oh. Is there anything you can skip now? Nah, there's nothing you can skip. I'm just thinking, like, can I, like, avoid the logic for bomb bag somehow and find the rest of my items? But they could just be in GTG along with your bomb bag.
Yeah.
Head up river. Go into domain. Turn in the letter.
Yep. Not opposed to this. You're chasing that path, that letter path.
Yeah, I've been thinking of vanilla bomb bag in Dodongo's Cavern for a long time.
Which it might be. Between hammer and strength, that's 5 checks out of the 7 that you can do in DC. It's not a bad dungeon.
Yeah, but now if you think that, I don't even know if you need to go in there. I think you've got enough chews to complete your seed, so.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sure there will be another item in DC that they're going to need. Light arrows are going to be there. Hovers are going to be there. Some dumb item is going to be there. I mean, that's just how DC works.
Yes, frogs 1 and 2 are both hinted not useful today.
No, buddy. Yeah, I think this is a... They're gonna get to Spirit Temple and go to equip Mirror Shield.
Oh no. I thought for sure since he was wearing it to scare off the keys that he would have remembered, but...
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. Down, I would say down but not out. Down but not out. There's still too many items that we're missing and too many options available that a move like this will cost Favio time. However, it will... I don't think this is like the nail in the coffin.
Oh, graveyard path to Volvaccia.
What do we find in graveyard?
Iron boots.
Strength? Was strength in graveyard?
Requiem.
Cool. Probably that's strength. Wait, but bow is... No, it can't be this... It can't be strength for hammer, because we also had a bow.
Yeah, that's gotta lead to hover boots somehow.
Yeah, because bow was available.
Or bomb, or well, we're not bomb locked. and fire. Fire boss key is not bomb locked.
Oh yeah, you're right. So you can beat the entirety of fire without bomb bag, but you would need to chat's point. I agree. You would need hovers in that case.
What's the summary? We got stupid paths.
Yeah. Let's see. It's just dumb. 2 hours in, still no bomb bag. Cool. The only real divide in this is that Skull Mask has Mirror Shield, which Favio got Skull Mask, but then walked past turning in Skull Mask. So we'll need to go back there eventually. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure they've done roughly the same things.
Yeah, there's been no true divergence.
Yeah. And again, like, it doesn't surprise me that there's been no divergence. I think by and large, they've all, like, the things that they have done have roughly been kind of the best play for, like, what they knew and what they had. And so I think their routing has been by and large, I think it's been good routing from both of them.
Yeah, that is true. Without that hammer, I think without having another item, Favio full cleared water. Guess they didn't have hammer or Kakiri sword.
Well, I think part of it was also just the route that they chose through
That's
water. Only getting one small key in the first 3 meant that they did block, push, and compass. By getting 2, I think they just elected to do the river loop first and then boss key second.
Okay, this might be Skull Mask.
Come on, baby. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, that's not going to be a Furor's Wind.
Where was Lens, by the way? I don't remember.
South Mountain Trail.
Gotcha. You're going to see lots of L's and R's. If you want to take a bet about left and right in the Lens minigame, now is your chance. As we are encroaching on the 2-hour mark. Still 2 dungeons left. And I'm out too. Still missing quite a few items, all things considered. Strength, dins, hovers, lights. I'd say bomb bag, but at this point, they got enough juice. They're fine.
Until something's on bomb 2 bowling.
Right? And really, neither one of them have touched their optional dungeons. Well hasn't been seen, Ice hasn't been seen, though it's probably going to be seen closely. GGG hasn't been seen, even though it's been in Logic since the 3-minute mark. We haven't seen DC, and we haven't seen Jabu. So there's still a lot of seed available where these items could be, and they could be spread out all throughout those quote-unquote unrequired dungeons.
Way to go, Lava Plume. Our tracker also winning the Lens game there on rockchalk side. You've won the right to track the rest of this seed. Congratulations! Also, 5 rupees or whatever it was in the chest. Toad suspicious of foul play. Tenacious Toad, another one of our fearless, faithful trackers. All this chattering on that we're doing and all this talk of trackers, let me drop a link in the chat here. If you would like to find out more about volunteering with us here on ZSR, or there are other sister channels out there hosting all kinds of races. Check that link out. Join us to track, to commentate, to help the tech work on the restreams. Give us a shout if you'd like to help out. Not possible without, the very many of us that is a labor of love here bringing you these races.
Absolutely. As we walk into this nice convergence here, both runners basically neck and neck heading to Ice Cavern right now.
You love to see it.
The advantages, by the way, of moving Mido is that means that you can just walk straight there and you don't have to go out and come back in.
Alright, into Ice Cavern.
Wild thing. Wild. This is out of logic. We are 2 hours in, and this is out of logic. And I don't understand. We don't have Bomb Bag, we don't have Scale. And we have no inkling on where they might be right now. Though my guess would be GGG. Yeah, GGG has a very high probability of being that Bomb Bag.
Or that Scale.
Or Scale. Yeah.
Alright, let's see if I can make out what that looks like. A recovery heart.
Yeah, the red color is nice when you've already got Mirror Shield. Because the only thing red in the game that you really need is, well, I mean Din's, but Din's is like a different red. Is Mirror Shield.
I have to start calling you VX-Ray because you see everything. Gosh,
Hey.
I didn't have a chance of a chance.
Alrighty. So, I think one of the other interesting things to think about is that CAC path, you know? Like,
Right.
yeah, 2 hook shots. Knowing that Morpha is on the path as well in CAC. Otherwise, Epona's in a bottle is really not a whole lot to go off of.
Oh, yeah, something gross like Big Pose has Scale.
Yeah. It very easily could. We have everything that we need to do it.
Yeah, you're looking at something like bombs in DC, bombs on horseback archery, a Scale in one of those places. Trying to put this Ice Cavern play into logic.
Mm-hmm. Also, remember how we were talking about favorite dungeons, and some people said that Ice was their favorite dungeon, whether they were being facetious or, real about it. This is my least favorite dungeon. If I never had to play Ice Cavern again, I would be a happy man, and I would never complain. I'd be like, oh my god, this game is 10 out of 10. I hate this dungeon. It's just, every time I get frozen, I'm like, why am I here? Like, it's just not fun. I'm sorry, chat. I truly am, but I just hate Ice Cavern so much.
It's gonna be up to the last chest here. The final treasure of Ice Cavern. What does it hold? We are in an elimination match here at the top of the 2-hour time. Happy 2 hours to our audience here. Oh my. Someone else give the acknowledgement. I've done enough talking here lately. Please, please.
I can take it. Alrighty, so people we've got today. So our incredible runners, as you can see, neck and neck, losers bracket round 4, fighting for their lives. We got Favio, we've got rockchalk. Here in the commentary booth, we have Agmania, we got VXR441, and we got myself, Doc Heaps, and finally our trackers, Lava Plume and Star, without whom we would all be just a lost and broken mess. So shout outs to the tracker team, shout outs to these runners, shout outs to the people who are, co-commentating and spending their Friday evening with y'all. And of course, if you are interested in volunteering, if you want to be trackers, if you want to do commentary, or in any other way support Ocarina of Time Randomizer, somebody can drop the volunteer command in there. But we are always looking for more volunteers, so please consider volunteering and signing up. Did I do good, Hag?
Thank you very much, Doc.
Got you. Does the volunteer command exist? There it is. I was like, please, somebody, please.
Banding together to not make Doc Heaps look silly. Thank you, chat.
I look serious. I look silly at baseline anyway.
Alright, we're expecting a big chest here. Right? Wait, what? Oh, it's unfreezing King Zora?
Sure. Or Jabu.
Oh, Jabu.
Or just like Jabu.
So we need a Rang? Oh, no!
Or just like Jabu.
VXR, what do you think it is? VXR.
Hey, VXR.
Hey, VXR. VXR, hey.
Hey.
Hey!
Listen. God damn it. Oh, I am truly sorry we scared away VXR. We still love you. Please come back. Your parents miss you.
Hang on, VXR's my dad.
What the? Okay.
Nothing.
It's Jabu. It's Jabu.
Jabu.
And again, rockchalk playing the more conservative play of setting at 4 Roars Wind, and Jabu, Favio being a little bit more aggressive, pushing ice, not necessarily dipping into Jabu. So rockchalk will have an advantage when they do finally find Boomerang, that they can just play Requiem and Furores, whereas Favio is going to have to find a way to go back to River Domain Fountain into Jabu.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, thank God.
We thought we'd lost you.
Apparently Boomerang's path. Or
Please,
Boomerang's required.
Apparently.
please never leave us again. It was lonely. I had to deal with Hag.
I had to deal with Heaps.
No, that's on you.
I knew what I was getting myself into.
So again, there is a big chance that all of this could be for Big Pose, or just horseback archery, which they both had easy access to and were really close to when they both reversed. And so kind of speaks towards the argument of sometimes when you're this close to dense checks and you are missing a large amount of items, you just push on for an extra 5 minutes and do that density.
All right. Big pausies here. Big Po survey says
Nope.
no.
Jesus. All right. So at this point, you're going GGG. Like, yep. This is a GGG play. It feels bad. It feels bad because they were both there. Like, they both were at GGG. because they both did Reverse Wasteland for Bomb Shoes, and they could have just pushed just a little bit further to do these checks.
Those fire arrows are in logic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, reverse wasties into the haunted wasties. Here it comes.
Oh my god, can you please stop? I in my brain, as you say wasties, I'm replacing the W with a P, which I'm not gonna say out loud. And it just gives me a whole different mental image of this location.
Yo, y'all are bat chested, but rockchalk might be big chesting here in the haunted wasteland. Let's see it.
We're losing it, folks. We're slipping. And here's the sad part: is I've been working.
Okay.
I'm standing up.
Go away. Okay.
Placed arrows.
Okay, thank God. No, but like I have been on night shift for the last 2 weeks, so it is like. For everyone else, it's like almost 11. You know, it's like late at night. And for me, it feels like it's 10 a.m. So I'm like, this is me at my best here. God, if it's bomb shoot bowling, I'm gonna lose my shit. So horseback archery has to have something, right? Like, could we just collectively decide that horseback archery at this point has to have our item? Is there anything else from that CAC path that it could be?
The wall, that seems to be, because that's locking storms.
Deeper fire?
Unless Aura Tunic's available.
Anyhow, anyway?
They're metagaming DC at this point, I think.
It's not a bad play, honestly. And again, it's part of the reason why in my head I was like, if you're already child with storms, just do bottom of the well. Because there's a chance that, like, bottom of the well could be one of the targets, saves you an H change, and it's stupidly fast and efficient. And so it's some of these choices that you have to start making of, like, how much do I want to play in logic versus how much do I not want to play in logic? And also, how much do I want to be efficient in my clearing versus how much do I want to push progression? And I think it's seed dependent. I don't think there's always a right or wrong answer. I think as somebody like me who's a little bit more conservative, I would say, you know, if you're already child, do bottom of the well. If you're right next to GGG, do GGG. I also understand the argument of like, but I have medallion dungeons to do. I should prioritize those first.
All right, high leverage check here. Horseback archery. Something that we've been able to do for a while now.
Here we go. Ah, rockchalk, man after my own heart. Oh, pot strats. As somebody who plays on what some would deem as a suboptimal controller, pot strats is a godsend.
All right, good shooting, rockchalk.
Okay. We still don't have a big ore on hand.
Oh my god.
I love this game so much.
What is the scene telling us?
Dumb.
Yeah, Goron Tunic does not help us. We have a wall.
Yeah, that takes the wallet out for, well, at least for fire. The eye drops, on the other hand, again, we still don't have a big ore on hand.
Which is shocking 2 hours in.
All right, so let's see. GG has got one in the lobby. We have a big chest that's bomb. Well, actually, this whole dungeon's bomb locked right now, depending on Hoverboot's location.
Mm-hmm. I love this bomb lock check because we still don't have a bomb bag, so this is still technically out of logic.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
Rockchalk's bailing.
Oh, what? Okay, so
Gale, okay.
that skill tells us next to nothing about the logic in this goddamn seed. It's like, cool, you got a scale in a bomb locked location, i.e. you can't get storms without bombs, and you certainly can't get that scale without bombs.
yeah, it didn't help anything out.
I love this game. This game sucks.
We've been like 5 items from go for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I told you there were too many optional dungeons still left and too many items that it could very easily just be like one here, one there. Like, I will say what is really nice about that skill for Favio is once Favio finds Boomerang, they can serenade and not be too terribly punished for not having set for Roar's Wind in Jabu.
All right, back to fire.
Oh, are we? I think this is trade quest.
Goron.
Yeah. It just hurts. This just hurts
You
so
want to
much.
get this turned in. You don't want to lose it.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. Especially if this is required, i.e., like 2 wallets for bottle, so that way you can do trade quest, which is possible. Which hurts my soul.
If letter is path to get to blue fire. No. Yeah, we can't even turn in the letter. That scale's bomb locked.
Yep. It's great. This seed sucks. Come on, bomb bag. Be bomb bag here. Come on. Do it. Come on.
You coward, Bigoron.
Come on, be bomb bag. No, I was like, it's a claim check, and I was like, wait.
Oh my!
Oh!
Seriously, game? Okay, wait, first of all, where's the hint?
I love this game.
And that's not in logic. That bomb bag is not in logic right now.
Oh.
We are 1 wallet away from that being in logic. That's it. We are 1 wallet away from that being in logic. In case anyone was wondering. Yep. This game sucks.
Big chest, it's in the well.
I've had a long week, so I decided not to be at my most tippy-top professional self tonight. I'm glad. This has been crazy.
I need more alcohol. Jesus.
Another big chest. Hey, there's
Okay,
Dins.
there's Dins. Okay.
Okay, we
course
finally
it's
figured
Dins.
out our path.
Okay. Alright, at least some sense is being made.
Long shot to get storms to get Dins.
But this is just another bomb
The
bag.
well! Okay.
Oh, it's slingshot.
Okay.
Okay. And again, like, well, this is what I was saying earlier. Well is way too high of density, even if you're out of logic. Like, it's just too good of a play. Like, this is just like, well, it's just too good of a play. So strong. And of course, that's a 7 key locked big chest. Dear God. For those of you who may be newer to watching Ocarina of Time Randomizer, the way GGG works is GGG assumes that you're an idiot, and key logic is based off of your idiocracy. So it assumes that you use 2 keys on the right side, went, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that, and then proceed to use the next 7 keys on your left side. So as you're counting keys on the left, it's whatever keys you used plus 2 is what's in logic. Yeah, which you know applies to every other dungeon. Applies to like water, for example. It's like, yeah, I managed to use all of my keys as dumbly as possible, and now I need to beat this dungeon.
Papa was
Spirits.
saying, when needed to be said in chat. Oh, please continue, Doc.
Oh yeah, no, that's basically just key logic. It's just like how can be pretty dumb.
Yeah, that could just be letter to unfreeze KZ, and then strength 2 can be literally anywhere.
Oh my god.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. We know one scale is bomb locked. We don't know where the other scale is. And if that's first bomb bag, you ain't turning in letter. Like, turning in letter is not an option, which is what is worrying me about this seed right now, is that we have no access to turn in letter to get that bomb bag. Which is dumb. And I love it. And I'm here for it. This is the shit that we live for.
Here's another big chest.
Biggie?
There's a scale.
That's
That's
scale.
it.
There it is.
That is in
There
logic.
it is. Okay. We did it. Remember how I said sometimes you don't figure out? Oh,
yeah.
go for it.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
Yep.
The letter is path, so you can just... Oh my god, so you can be the worst.
Because if, for example, if second wallet is in Ganon's castle, you have no other access to blue fire.
Oh my god.
I love this game. Never change Ocarina of Time Randomizer. Never change.
I pull out a first bomb bag on Frost.
The only thing that would have made this worse is if it had started on prescription.
Yeah.
Like, eye drops is bad, and the logic is terrible. If they had been handed prescription and then said, good luck, have fun, that would have been a disaster.
Yeah, so now our strength 2 is just in the wind. As has been so eloquently pointed out before. Oh, man.
And again, sometimes this is why, as a runner, well, two things. One, you go for efficiency because you never can trust your path hints. And then two, why you are never in go mode until you have every item. Because you might be like, I have one path hint and one item. How bad could this seed be? And it, like, will go to show you how bad the seed can be.
Pretty sure that Zoratunic's out of logic right now.
They're missing one.
I was
small
not counting
key.
keys at all.
Yeah, they're missing one key, and I don't know if the one in the hidden ceiling was a key. But he had 6 keys, and there is a chance that toilet could be a small key. In which case, that would be in logic. Said, you don't need tunic for toilet.
I'm about... Every time I go to think about the logic, I'm just about to die laughing. Oh. God bless.
We're gonna try the hover boots.
Oh
See
my
if that's a
god.
thing. And we're still looking for boomerang, apparently, too.
Maybe?
Oh,
Again,
this-
all
oh wait,
of that,
oh wait,
that
no,
letter
we
could
don't.
just be
We
a
might not need
ruse.
boomerang, right?
Yeah.
Strength 2 can be literally anywhere.
Yeah, could be anywhere. Because bomb bag's technically required to beat spirit, which is bullshit. But here we are, by Fabio. Yeah, no, this seed
And if
is.
we need strength 3 after all of this, too,
Yeah. Yeah.
still no light arrows.
We're still 2 dungeons away.
Oh, here comes DC at 220.
Yeah.
Oh.
Look, just because Jabu is no longer pointed to does not mean that Jabu doesn't have an item. I've learned that lesson the hard way. I feel like a lot of my stories are just like past trauma.
Rockchalk caving into the fact that this is absolute dumpster fire, going into Dodongo's cavern at the 2-hour and 21-minute mark.
Yeah. And again, I can see why they routed against this. Because they just had other things to do. But like TC's just such, it's like one of the best dungeons in the game. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, I love that stair strat. Basically just hitting from 2 different sources, hitting that the stair hitbox allows you to unlock the stairs. So you don't have to wait for the entire bomb chain to explode. You can just do that.
Alright, yeah, did we resolve Graveyard to Evolve?
No, we have not. Something is locking hover. One of those things is locking hovers. We don't know what.
What are our options? It's Strength, it's Requiem, and it's what?
Iron Boots,
Ew.
which led to Dins.
Ew.
Alright, hovers are just in spirit, please. God,
Ew.
please, game, please!
At this point, you just start doing checks. You're just like, screw the logic. Like, I'm just gonna do checks. Which is exactly what Fabio's doing. Just screw the logic. GGG is the logical play. Screw the logic, I'm doing DC. I got 15 Jews. Watch me.
You think I won't?
You see, you're gonna challenge me? Expletives you. I will do what I want.
Oh, here's a big chest. Double magic.
Ah.
God.
That's not magic locked.
I mean, at this stage, we're 2 hours and 20 minutes. I don't remember where the first magic was. Where was first magic?
Deku?
Star. Oh, Deku. That's right.
It was Deku.
That's right. Star has an Excel sheet that she keeps trying to convince me to look at while I do comms, and I keep telling her no. And then she keeps getting mad at me for not knowing where items are.
Hey, I did a scene once with star tracking, and I went on a big 2-minute rant about something that I could have just found in Star's notes. Oh, God. Need to look at Star's tracker.
Yeah, no, Star takes exceptional notes, and then I proceed to not look at them. All right, so this is behind the letter.
Oh, there's the hint. Fabio just
Oh, he doesn't know!
got the eye drops.
No, Fabio's like, well, guess I'm not getting bomb bag. And also that, so there is, shockingly, and I don't get to talk about this very often, there is technically logic for hint stones. You must be able to get a hint stone without the item that the hint stone is pointing to. So in this case, bomb bag on Big Goron requires, if that is like the first logical bomb bag, it requires that you can get that hint without bomb bag. So there had to be a hint stone that was not locked by bomb bag telling you that Big Goron had bomb bag. It's great. So like, for example, you can't find, what's a good example? Like a hint pointing towards Rudo's letter with both the hint stones being in Zora's Fountain. Because those both require Rudo's letter to get, and so the game will make sure that one of those hints that points towards Rudo's letter is in a location that does not require Rudo's letter. There you go. There's a little bit of logic fun.
absolutely nothing needed in DC at all.
See, just a big middle finger to the runners.
Yep.
So yeah, if Bomb Chew Bowling has something, this is an astronomical lead for rockchalk. Which Bomb Chew Bowling could be strength 2, which would explain our like letter to Twin Rova. God, I'm like literally on the edge of my seat right now.
Yeah, and if Bomb Chew Bowling has something, Fabio has to get that bomb bag.
Yeah. And that's a terrible bomb bag because that requires not only doing horseback archery, but then going on and playing minuet and doing the trade sequence and like.
Here's the verdict.
Fabio's pretty far away from Bomb Chew Bowling.
Alright, just a blue.
Starts with a blue B.
Oh!
Oh no.
I hate this seed.
Oh my god!
This is the gift that keeps on giving. There's lots of different angles, by the way, where you can do that high target. If you, from that initial angle that you get when you like back up and then blow up and then, Z target, and you count from the right-hand side, if you go to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th line from the right-hand side, that angle works to get this high target. So if you're ever struggling with this high target, get that angle, that skew angle that you normally do for the 3rd one, but then count 5 lines from the right, and that will get you that check. So, just something to be aware of.
Yeah, Rockchalk, I gotta reload the. Is he not getting it?
Rockchalk is going right from this.
Rocco,
using
everyone.
now.
I don't have enough food for this. Hold on, I'm gonna find something to eat.
I never say anything. It's like it's never been there. It's only a lie if you believe it, or it's not a lie if you believe it.
I feel like we've been on 4 medallions for the past hour.
I can't with this seed.
Left.
Bye, Boom. Bye.
We may not need Boomerang. We don't know.
Bye, Felicia. Well, this will be, again, the good news is this will be Rockchalk's Din's Fire, which he needs. The downside is that Din's Fire doesn't actually advance our game state right now by itself. It unlocks 2 checks, which Fabio has already done. Those 2 checks did nothing. So we're gonna have to go somewhere else after this. This is not the end-all be-all for Rockchalk. Which might, again, just be Jabu.
If you're Fabio, so I know you say you're never getting that bomb bag, but when you get it at horseback archery, do you just skip it?
At a certain point, your only check is going to be Bomb Chew Bowling.
Yep.
And I think after GGG, you kind of have to just accept the fact that you're going to need Bomb Bag for Bomb Chew Bowling.
That's fair.
and just hopefully you reach that stage of acceptance before you save quit and lose your eye drops.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Right. So like Fabio is going through the 5 stages of grief right now, and it's probably in denial. At some point, we'll probably hit anger and depression, bargaining, but we'll eventually reach acceptance of like, I accept that I need to do this for Bombag. In case anyone was wondering, those are the 5 stages of grief, brought to you by Dr. Heaps. You're welcome.
Oh, passing out. The wisdom is the doc, and I'm about to pass out from this logic noodle. So,
Oh.
2.5 hours in. Thank you for sticking around with us this long. Oh, we had some really I don't know, just really tight gameplay there for about an hour, and then it just devolved into this nightmare.
We're not sub-3ing this seed. I hope everyone has reached that stage of acceptance. We are not sub-3ing this seed. It's not happening. We have all of Shadow, which is 15 minutes. We have all of Spirit, which is, 10 minutes. We still don't have light arrows. Yeah.
And if light arrows are light trial,
yeah, so buckle in. You have us for at least another 30 minutes, assuming that they are on the path to go mode now. Else, you got us for probably another hour. Which is fine. I gotta hang out with Hag. I gotta hang out with VXR. I gotta hang out with chat. What more fun could we be doing on a Friday night?
I'm here for it.
3:30. Before the race, I was like, if this takes 3:30, something will have gone horribly wrong. Well, the seed has gone horribly wrong.
Yeah. I honestly think that Boomerang is the next step in the seed.
I mean, what else is there?
That's just it. I don't know what else there is. I think it's letter to Jabu. As much fun as this letter has been to chase down Bombag, which it has been fun, don't get me wrong. I think it's just Jabu. I think it's Jabu to strength 2. And best case scenario, well, I can't even say best case scenario is that you beat Jabu for strength 2 and then you get your prelude.
Fire too.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Boston was early. They didn't go anywhere past that.
I will say, in looking at Fire versus Deep Jabu, Jabu, the first 3 checks in Jabu is a lot more efficient than Deep Fire. The downside is that one of those checks has been hinted barren, so it's really only 2 checks. But if you're ever wondering about do I dip Jabu, it takes about 3 to 4 minutes to pick up Rudo, do the loop, for 3 checks. So you're hitting about a check a minute by doing the first 3 checks in Jabu, which is not that inefficient. And so a lot of people will avoid doing the first 3 checks in Jabu because they're like, it's too slow. It's really not actually that slow when you think of it that way. Slapping on Baronade, that's slow. But doing just the first 3 checks in Jabu, you're doing about a check a minute, which is actually pretty good efficiency.
I think rockchalk's going back for the Boomerang now.
And yes, I will talk about checks per minute. Forrest
Are you
has
so bold? Oh, go ahead, please.
Oh, I was going to say Forrest has a CPM of 1 check every roughly 2 minutes. So yes, it is much faster. Anyway, do continue.
Yeah, are you so bold to dip out of Jabu after those first 3 checks, though?
I think in this case, rockchalk's just gonna have to full clear Jabu. If there's nothing in the next like those 2 boomerang checks, I think you full clear. I think you beat Baronade. There's you're 2 bottlenecked right now, and there's still that like this letter could still be for strength 2. I think you just have to.
Yeah, I agree. I agree at that point. Mel.
By the way,
Bombchu Lady acting like a carny.
rockchalk gave 180 rupees to the Bombchu Lady.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I paid $55 and I won this glass-plated picture of the Backstreet Boys. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, like the county fair or whatever.
Oh, totally. But usually it's like a teeny stuffed animal or something.
Yeah.
And shit. But yeah, I will go fishing all day, every day in a plastic pond if it means that I can win a little Sonic the Hedgehog. All day, every day. All right, so speaking of chat, what's the best thing that you've won from a carnival? Carnival dash arcade. Carnival
this is a great
arcade.
question.
Hag VXR, what are the best things that y'all have won from an arcade or carnival?
I could not tell you.
So I once, to the chagrin of my father, I once emptied his wallet to actually win that game where you can lean over the counter and like there's a slanted, like it's like an easel almost. You gotta like bounce the ball off into a basket. It's like a totally unfair midway game. Anyway, I finally won that, and the big prize was just like this big dumb stuffed snake. I don't know, it was just a really stupid prize looking back on it, but I won that damn game.
Oh my god, that's amazing. I got really good ones at the arcade game where you like flick the quarter into like there's like different mouths that are open, and you like flick the quarter into like the different mouths and things like that. Got really good at that, made a ton of tickets, and won and ended up like exchanging all of my tickets for one of these like board games. So that was my proudest win.
Nice.
Was getting stupidly good at flicking quarters into like the 100-point mouth and being like, give me them tickets.
I used to always try to figure out my candy to ticket prices and like go after like I'm gonna get a bunch of Laffy Taffies or whatever.
Yeah.
It's always my strat.
Skee-ball. I will say my arcade game of choice is Dance Dance Revolution. Like all day, every day, throw me on that pad. I will play that until I pass out.
It's newer in arcades, but there's like this machine where you can play the Deal or No Deal.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very boring about it because I open up like the first 5 chests and then I always accept the deal. You're never gonna get a better offer. You know how people like go down to the last suitcase or whatever. Yeah.
You're just like give me that for a suitcase.
Yeah, people were like groaning at me while I was playing. They're like, "Dude, what are you doing?"
Oh,
I
hang
just
on,
collect.
you got a big
Oh,
chest.
big chest.
Do I have to start paying attention again?
There's
There it is.
Oh, it's
All right,
looking like that
VXR, ring
Monmeg and
this.
Big Goron's hard required.
Jesus.
Say that one more time, VXR. What were you saying?
Looks like that strength or that Monmeg and Big Goron's hard required.
Yep, that's what it's looking like. So sure enough, it was come out here, get your eye drops, get your bomb bag, use the bomb bag to get boomerang, use boomerang to get strength 2. Ugh.
Well, after 2 hours and 40 minutes, I can finally do this.
Exclamation point path.
We betting?
Oh, betting time.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, they have to be behind either Iron Boots, Strength 2, or Requiem.
Yeah, so there's a very good chance that Iron Boots are not in Deep Fire. Could be, but most likely not. Because there's a hot chance that Deep Fire is just Huffer's locked.
Yeah, I think that's why they were avoiding it.
I'm betting Lax. We gotta kill Trimnova.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lax could have it.
Spirit just seems like the most likely play for Huffer Boots. Okay, so before we focus on this amazing Spirit Temple, VXR, what was your favorite arcade game?
I could not tell you. I haven't.
That's
I guess
fair.
the pinball games. I don't know what kind of pinball.
My wife loves pinball these days. Yeah.
Pinball's a great choice. I support that.
I've always spent a lot more time playing pinball on Windows XP than I ever did a real pinball machine.
Okay, the pinball on Windows XP was a delicious game that should be cherished. That game was so good.
Yes, it was. Pokemon pinball, also amazing. Love me some good pinball games. Who'd have thunk?
All right. Okay, now that we've gotten that all out of our system, wanted to make sure that we heard from VXR on that. We can finally get back to our actual progression in the form of Spirit Temple.
Their 5th medallion.
When I feel like we got the 4th medallion at least an hour ago.
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
Shockingly, not child locked. Having that small key there. The entirety of Spirit, of course, is child locked because you do need all 5 keys. But practically, these runners can do it on 3 pretty comfortably.
Yeah, rockchalk, now that we can see it for ourselves, has quite a hefty advantage.
Yeah. That bomb bag to boomerang to strength 2 was a big advantage for rockchalk.
And it's been ages ago, but I do agree with you. I think it started with that hammer pickup.
Yeah.
Just being able to, just to be a little bit ahead on just everything from the time they pick the hammer up. A little bit more efficient routing.
I was going to make mention. I was actually going to talk about Seed for once. Wow. Who does? Ooh, wait, hold on.
Hang
Never
on.
mind. Talk about launch. I'll talk about execution in a second.
Okay.
Oh, dear God.
Okay.
Just as PG-13 movies can have one F-bomb, fuck you, Seed. Like,
Well, at
really?
least we don't have to go hunting for Strength 3 of Flight Arrows of Light trial.
Jesus. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, VXR. But what I was going to say is that it has been found recently on the randomizer build that those the giant mirrors that you push, if either you push the A button for 1 frame or the up direction for 1 frame, that you can move. You can get the movement started, but still release the mirror, which allows you to walk around and can actually save you time as you're pushing those giant mirrors. So there you go. So when you see them start to push and then start moving around, that's what's happening. Is that it's a 1 frame trick. Most people do it by holding A and then flicking the up on either their keyboard or joystick. But that's the way that they do that in order to move around.
Our last key.
Yeah, the most insane thing left to happen in this seed, I think, is for Ganondorf to say inside Jabu Jabu's belly. But
Yeah, Jabu or fire.
yeah, yeah.
Where's Bolero? Bolero's on Burning Cack?
Yeah, Bolero's on Burning Cack.
Okay. Yeah, and again, even when talking about like setting things up, there's a certain amount of randomizer that is setting up like past you setting up success for future you, right? So past Favio or past rockchalk setting up success for future rockchalk by putting forward winning Jabu. Not necessarily that was I have a hovers and then realizing I don't have hovers. But setting up success for yourself. Same thing with Favio grabbing Skull Mask, kind of using past self to set up for future self's success. Can save you time over the course of many different seeds of, I'm going to set up Scarecrow as a child because I don't know if I need it as an adult, but I'm going to at least try to ensure my future success. Skull Mask, Furor's Wind, and Jabu. Like little things like this can save you time over the course of seeds.
And we're finally in glow mode.
Oh,
There
okay.
it is. Bless. Did anyone guess Spirit Bosky chest?
Alka.
Oh, is this it? Are we?
Oh, come on.
Oh, are we
Come on,
done?
baby.
There we go.
Oh,
2
there
hours,
it is.
47 minutes, and 30
Alright.
seconds. Rockchalk is now in go mode.
Go,
At long
go.
last.
Wow, that's a big GG right there. Great race.
Fun little fact for those of you who don't know, most people do, but if Rockchalk were to push C down, he would crash his game. Using Din's fire in that room with the bubbles just overloads the sprites and it just crashes. There you go. Here's your little spirit fact of the day.
Man, this seed would have been so much better if we'd never found that Rudo's letter hint. The, whatever path that was. I'm convinced. We wouldn't have been on so long of a detour, I think.
Oh, is that what it is, Star? Oh. True. Today I learned. I thought it was spread overload. I didn't know that it was just like failure for the game to be able to calculate damage.
Yeah, strength for hovers would be... Oh, and Requiem as well, yeah.
All right. So our next question is going to be, how nice is Shadow for these runners?
You know they're gonna have to go to the back.
I know they are, but like deep down, I secretly hope that they can skip a few rooms in Shadow. They won't, but I kind of wish that they will.
I've already seen the first 2 checks of Shadow on Fabio's side.
Now, I know that Favio is playing on emulator. Is Rockchalk on Virtual Console?
I don't see the FPS on...
Oh, I see emulation
Oh.
started. Okay,
I see it, yeah, there it is, yeah.
got it.
Yeah, top left.
It is technically faster for you to do the dead hand room in Shadow and then save quit back to the entrance versus walking out on emulator by like 2 seconds. And it's the greatest thing that I've learned recently. As a fellow emulator player, doing the save quit, it just feels nice. It feels good.
man, even in spite of that just brutal path hint that led us on this goose chase, I mean, this is not going to be a bad finish time.
So,
I mean,
go for it.
just a logical disaster, but still, like, it is. I mean, I'm still blown away by how quickly these seeds get done.
Yeah. So as you two are kind of looking at us walking into the last dungeon, right? So more or less required to do the same route through the seed. Rockchalk, though, pulling ahead a spirit above Favio. What do you think has kind of been the biggest game maker, biggest difference that has given Rockchalk such an advantage?
You know, we've talked about it a couple times, and definitely want to hear VXR's thoughts. I think it's that hammer. I just think being able. I don't think it's 10 minutes worth, but I think it's several minutes worth.
Yeah, kind of in that same boat as well.
Yeah, I think that's not even just like the route of like choosing DMC versus not, but just the ability to do all of those explosive lock checks along the way. Saved, like Rockchalk was able to do Lost Woods on their way to Second Force Meadow to do Forest and do all the checks, whereas Favio did it as a child, walked by it as adult, and then had to go back and do it all again with Bomb Chews. Little things like that cost you 30 seconds here, a minute there. And so I agree, not necessarily that it was, yes, DC or DMC, no DMC, but just like having an explosive source to just make their checks more efficient really helped Rockchalk. And even just like watching Rockchalk's play overall, a little bit more efficient in kind of routing checks, even checks that were independent of explosives, just being able to do things all kind of more in one go versus kind of touch an area but then have to come back to that area later on.
His skull routing was also better. I think he probably saved about a minute on skull routing alone. We remarked upon it. We just saw a couple of skulls before from Favio that are not the typical skulls you would see picked up on just a rush to 20.
Yeah, totally. And again, all of this that we're saying is with the full understanding that they're both in losers bracket round 4 for a reason. Like they both won multiple matches throughout this tournament for good reason. But as you start to, I think it's an interesting kind of logical process of being like, can I understand why these two incredibly strong and talented runners are 10 minutes apart despite having done similar checks?
Yeah, it's definitely item acquisition order or whatever you want to. And really thinking about how to maximize your chances of getting that most maximum value out of your item order. It's a really interesting study to me. Yeah, and I think it's one of the skills to practice, especially if you want to get better, is watching your route and then comparing it to, say, if we're on a weekly, comparing it to the person who won, or in a 1v1, comparing it to your opponent to say, like, what are some things that they did in their route that I elected not to do, and did it pay out? And if not, why? And more than just like, oh, because I got unlucky, but like, why was their route overall more efficient than my route? What can I learn from how they routed in order to better route my seeds in the future? Because at a certain point, execution can only carry you so far, and routing and logic are just two other skills that you have to get down in order to really kind of take off in the randomizer scene. Yeah, and even though we've analyzed, and I say we very loosely, as a community, there are people that have analyzed, tens of thousands of seeds. That's just like with the seed generation. There's still a very small sample size of actual races, and like race theory is still, the community's been, alive and running for 6, 7, whatever years now, but I still think that there's a lot to be learned as far as, race theory and like competitive advantages here and there, the risk reward there. I think there's still a lot to be explored.
Yeah, and I think that's how we get better. That's how we learn. Is we try something out. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. And if it doesn't work, we go, why didn't that work? Maybe not do that again. And if it does work, be like, that was cool. Maybe I should do that more often.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, also not forgetting that randos. And sometimes you just lose because you have the option of deep fire versus forest, and you chose forest over deep fire.
Oh yeah, and that's to say. We could run rock chalk versus Favio, and Favio plays. I would say Favio plays. It's not necessarily conservatively. It's more. I think Favio trends to be a bit more complete within the logic. And rock chalk, I can see a difference in how rock chalk chooses to route to Favio's sort of completionist sort of strategy.
Yeah, and at a certain point you start playing odds of like bomb bag's probably somewhere dumb. So like if that's the case, like let me just start doing things that have good odds. Which can either really help you or really push you in like the wrong direction.
Yeah, we shouldn't fail to say that Favio has entered Go mode. They are now just defeating Nibiru Knuckle and heading into the Twinrova fight. So it's gonna be 2/3 to nearly a full shadow behind.
Did we get a shadow pot hit? We must have.
We did.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and it's not. Yeah, and to say it's a mistake or not, it's almost more of a metagame call. I mean, Favio plays one way and rock chalk plays a different way, and you pit your styles against each other, and you race the best you can, and you see how the seed shakes out for you. So, yeah. It's a style thing.
Well, if you looked at the stats at the beginning, when you compare the two racers, Favio actually had quite a sizable amount of wins out on rock chalk, statistically, and so, really anything could have gone from rock chalk having the lower seed to Favio having the kind of win advantage, to just Twinrova being god awful, like nothing new. And honestly, this is why I love Ocarina of Randomizer, is that it's such a fun opportunity to be like, let's, every seed is different, every race is different. Somehow I still scream profanities, and I wonder why I keep doing this, and then I just hit join for the next race. So here we are. And VXR, you were right. We are going to have to do the back shadow.
I mean, when you're in Go mode, you only get to skip the back like 10% of the time. And happy 3 hours.
Happy 3 hours indeed. Whose turn is it to... Oh my god, Rockchalk, please don't fall off the boat. Whose turn is it to do the 3 hour announcements?
Oh! I'll take it unless VXR wants to.
Yeah, I'll do it. Make sure to give both of our runners a follow. Shoutouts to my co-commentators Heaps and Hegmania, and to our trackers Lava Plume and Star, who is also our race monitor, and told Randomizer to roll this gigantic mess.
VXR, we're almost out. We're almost done.
Man, this is like the comfy nostalgia feels. This was a Star special? Hmm.
Oh, God. So I will say, you will see one cool thing here from rockchalk. If there's one thing in Shadow Temple that I can be like, look at this cool little piece of deck. rockchalk is going to use Pierre, aka the Scarecrow, to save themselves a little bit of time getting to Bongo Bongo versus shooting the statue. Because it is faster to call Pierre than it is to actually shoot and void out. So that is the one cool piece of tech we will be seeing. And that's it. That's all I got for Shadow.
And that is just about all we have for Shadow, is rockchalk about to go kill Bongo Bongo.
When your path to Phantom Ganon is the most straightforward path, everything else is just a convoluted mess.
Such a mess.
No more if it was straightforward, but then Bongo was a mess.
Wait, so was it? So was Epona's the other path?
Yes,
Cool.
for the eye drops.
Cool.
Jesus.
I love this.
Yeah, the other hook shot too, because that's what led you to Din's.
Was everything just
Eventually.
pointing towards Bombag? Like, was every other hint in the seed just pointing towards Bombag?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, it's a bomb bag path.
Yeah, because it was like, so the long shot was the water path, cool. Four's path was Saria's, cool. I think the other three paths were just like, hey, by the way, Bombag. Hey, did we mention that you need Bombag? Hey, what about Bombag?
And with that, at 3 hours, 3 minutes, and a little bit of change, rockchalk is going to pick up their 6th medallion. Time to head in to Ganon's castle. See, I straightened myself up, got my posture right. I'm ready to announce the end of this race here.
Are we doing posture checks? 'Cause
Oh,
I have
yeah.
Yeah.
been a hunched
Good idea.
goblin for the last 2 hours.
Yeah, I've been lounging back with my feet on my desk because this one's been a mind blower for me.
All right, everyone. I know that it's late at night. It's time to wake up. We got our final 6 minutes coming in here. Bless.
So what's later cutscene gonna have for us?
Third
Is there
slingshot.
anything it could be?
Third slingshot.
Third slingshot. Easy. Not even a
Easy.
question. There it is.
Oh.
I was hoping to call it. Yeah, so I will say.
Second bomb bag would have been hilarious.
Oh god, right? I think all the bomb bags at this point are just in Ganon's castle. We've done basically every other location. It's like Strength 2 GTG, Baronade, outside Ganon's castle, and Ganon's castle, I think is it. And again, all the seed would have needed is just like a bomb bag on Goron City Pot, right? Like just the bomb lock bomb bag that we could get with Juice, and then like the seed would have been free and it would have been fine. But no, all the bomb bags were buried.
Oh my gosh, if Deep had a bomb egg and we could have just skipped Big Oron.
Yeah, they could have just skipped all of it. It would have been great. We would have been done like an hour earlier.
There was a Goron tunic at horseback archery. I guess there was a wallet too, though. So
I will say, credit where credit's due. they did every single dungeon. They did all the medallions. They did at least every Stone Sands Baronade, and they did every side dungeon in 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Pretty damn incredible.
That's what I'm saying, man. Phew. Alright, so as we look forward here in the tournament, Rock Chalk with a win here will go on to losers bracket round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll be waiting for just a couple of matches here. I believe Challenge Wall versus Words for Swords needs to be resolved, and then the winner of that will face Sora. So, cool. Sora, Challenge Wall, or Words for Swords coming up for Rock Chalk.
Not to say that I'm rooting for Sora, but as the person who knocked me out of round 1, go Sora. Look, if the person who my rule is whoever beats me then becomes the person that I root for. They it's almost like they like I just like feed into them and just cheer them on. So as the person who eliminated me from the first round of the bracket, I'm rooting for Sora. But at the end of the day, I want everyone to do great. That's what I'm here for.
A real fiefdom type of thing you're serving Sora now. Sora versus Rock Chalk. I mean, Rock Chalk versus any of these runners that we've mentioned would be great. Sora versus Rock Chalk. I think their styles are pretty complementary to each other, or I guess I think they play kind of similarly. Sora definitely on the aggressive, kind of intuitive side of play, I think. And Rock Chalk just seems really solid. Just overall. Yeah. Good routing, good execution, good read of logic, which are kind of the 3 skills that you need to be successful. Easy Ganondorf fight there. 5 crouch stabs with the big Goron sword guarantees that you get him down in 1 cycle. We are 2 rounds of Ganon away, and we are out of this mess. VXR, any final thoughts for this seed as we're approaching its end?
Not really. Just what great logic again.
How about you, Ag?
I really have enjoyed. So I've really enjoyed Favio's run in this tournament, and I really have enjoyed watching Rock Chalk play this one. I've not seen them play very much, but it's sad to see Favio go. Really like their style. I think it's just I just caught up to them this time. Rock Chalk though got a new fan here. I really like what I've seen from them today. So just appreciation for both these runners.
Yeah, Rock Chalk's been a good friend of mine for some years. And so always good to see, Rock Chalk succeed. And then, along the same coin, we don't get to see the prowess of the keyboard players very often. And so to watch somebody who is this skilled playing on WASD is an absolute delight. And so if you want to see more keyboard action, go follow Favio. If you want to cheer on Rock Chalk through the remainder of this tournament, go follow Rock Chalk. You will not go wrong by following either of these runners. And they will both totally love and appreciate it if you do. So here we go. Final slash coming in. Get your GGs.
That's a Rock Chalk Jayhawk. GG's to Rock Chalk. It's an official time of 3 hours, 10 minutes, and 5 seconds.
Absolute delight to watch there. And in fact, I think that we have both of them
Favio and
in
Rock Chalk
now.
here, yeah.
Go for it, VXR.
Yeah, GG, guys.
Hey, GG.
Oh,
Hello.
So we GG's Rock Chalk, amazing play out there. Same for you, Favio. Incredible run through this tournament. I think we on the commentary booth were just in awe at what this seed expected you to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Talk to us about your thoughts about kind of what insanity was was in the seed and how y'all kind of approach that.
Honestly, I think it got to the point where I had the Cactabonga remaining and the Field de Rova, which was letter, and at that point I was like, okay, it's probably just Njabu. And whatever bongo item is on the path is just gonna be on HBA or something. And then I get the eye drops into the bomb bag, and I'm just sitting there like, oh, come on. You've gotta be kidding me. And I'm like, that is an in-logic bomb bag if I find a skill somewhere, and then I immediately find a skill in GTG, and I'm just like, so every single path in that I have remaining sucks and is resolved, and I'm just lost. And so that felt awful.
Yeah. With the hilarity, of course, being that despite everything already being fulfilled, you still had to go back into Jabu for your strength 2. Like that letter still was like, oh, by the way, strength 2 is in Jabu. Oh, by the way, shout outs to strength 3 just being strength 2 locked in spirit.
Yeah.
yeah.
How about you, Fabio?
Sad. Not gonna lie. Well, a little bit better now.
Yeah.
But basically the same thought as Rock Chalk here. But I think I super less location at Bombay.
Yeah, and I think it was. I think both of y'all made very smart plays in going and getting bomb chews, not knowing where bomb bag was, but like being deep enough into the seed of being like, I need to start doing bomb checks. I think Rockchalk, you had a hammer a little bit earlier than Fabio did, so we're able to do a few extra checks without having to get bomb chews first. Whereas Fabio pushed the bomb chews a little bit earlier before eventually finding their hammer. So there was kind of a divergence there.
Huh, interesting.
So.
But yeah, I only really got bomb chews when I wanted to go do fire. Because, yeah, obviously the hammer, I was able to get a bunch of the explosive luck checks with that. And then I honestly didn't want to use all my bomb chews on Volvagia. I just wanted to like use the bow, but I missed the shots, and I was just at that point, it was like, I've already spent too much time on Volvagia. Let's just use the chews, and hopefully I find another pack somewhere.
Yeah,
I ended up finding 2 more. So
yeah, I was about to say those 2 extra packs were real nice. The one on target, the one we were laughing. We're like, oh, look at Rockchalk. He's setting up to scum. Not Death Mountain Crater. Desert Colossus Fairy. Like, this is really smart. And then you find bomb chews, and we're like, well, so much for scumming.
Yeah.
kind of a null and void point there.
Also, I think that Din's location kind of pissed me off as well, but I don't know. I could have easily done well way earlier, but I wanted to stay a little bit in logic because I knew that the well was locked behind magic, and I don't think I have magic at that point. Or I think when I wanted to do well was when I did Deku, but
yeah,
I think after that I was kind of focused on the paths after Deku. So I guess it's not that big of a deal, but with that Dins, I didn't really have any other major checks except for like Stone Jabu, because, well, I mean, I had Deep Fire, but that was hovers locked, and I didn't have hovers yet, so I didn't want to go in there. I think I had 1 check in water. I don't know how much overworld I had, but probably not a lot. So Jabu was like the only real play at that point, I feel like.
I guess my one other question for y'all, and just kind of looking at the routing. Both of you did Reverse Wasteland to get Bomb Chews. Both of you left before doing GGG or Garuda Fortress. What were some of y'all's thought process in, like, do I do the Fortress Land and GGG versus do I just pick up Bomb Chews and leave?
I think at that point I had Fire I could do and Deku I could do because I hadn't Gunshot to do that yet. So for me it was just kind of pushing progression rather than dip into GTG or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of the same, especially with the Hyrule Field Path. So just wanted to use the choose there and go to Water Nymph.
Yeah, and again, totally makes sense. Same thing with, like, looking at y'all when it comes to, you know, DC, not having explosives, having other checks that were just better to do, until you got to the point where you're just like, we have nothing left. It's like, I have to do DC at some point. And then DC just having nothing, just got nothing.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it went. I didn't do DC the first time I walked past it because I could do Forest, and then I had like a bunch of path stuff I wanted to do, and then yeah, that was kind of the only time I really wanted to do DC, is when I did it. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting seed. I just wish it wasn't as infuriating, but you know, that's okay.
Yeah. Hag VXR, any questions that y'all want to ask?
Yeah, I would like to. I'd like to first say thank you guys so much for the great race. We're watching Favio finish up here now. Favio, you are also now finishing up your time in the tournament. You know, thank you for the great races that you've shown. I know it's a little bit of a sad moment for you, but do you have any like good takeaways or anything last final thoughts here on your season 6 and what the future might hold for you? You gonna be back for season 7?
Well, yeah, I think that definitely. I like this game a lot to like leave it for that much time, so I think most likely going to be in season 7. And about this, this seed in particular, just I wish I really routed that differently, I guess, in some points. That I think was one of my major problems in season 6, like maybe writing stuff that made me lose much time, sometimes less time, but yeah, I think I had to improve more in that spot. But overall, I did better than last season, so I'm kind of happy for that. Still sad that we couldn't make it through much further, but no, I'm okay.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, improvement. We're always about PBs, you know, in the speedrun or the racing community, personal best, and congratulations on a new personal best for you then, Fabio. Sad to see you go, but, you know, thank you for your time and the effort and all the great racing.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank every one of you for putting together this tournament. It's been awesome.
Of course. I want to turn to rockchalk now. So, rockchalk, congratulations on your win. You're moving on here. You're looking at a couple of opponents there. Sora, Words for Swords, I think Challenge Swa as well. What do you think that you might have perhaps have you figured anything out about season 6? Is there something that you think that you do better in season 6 than other runners out there, or is that something you're kind of keeping close to your chest still?
I mean, I don't know if I do this better than other runners, but I feel like compared to last season or seasons previous, I kind of just learned to not really care about what happens in a seed and just kind of go with my gut a lot better, because I think I've kind of learned a lot recently just what areas to skip or when to leave an area or when to skip a certain check. So I feel like some part of that has helped me maybe get a little more consistent.
Gotcha.
But I don't know if I'd necessarily do that better than other runners, but I don't know. I think when it comes from Season 5 to Season 6, I feel like that's something I've got a little bit better on. And I feel like that's helped me a lot, especially with my mentality. And just feeling better about bad item placements or something like that.
Sure, it's always great to hear that growth. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. I think that's really it for me. VXR, any final questions or thoughts?
I don't have anything else. I'm ready to... So yeah, I think we're going to wrap things up here. Make sure to give both of our runners a follow. Thanks to our trackers and to our commentators. Schedule. We got a lot going on. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you for the restream.
Night, y'all.